the big shoe.
Yeah, it worked.
Nailed it. You did it.
You did it.
You did it.
This button.
No, don't press that button.
Press all the buttons.
And then there's someone like me who just goes like classic, just clicks the buttons with them. That's what I still do. I still do that. Welcome to the Sparrow Roll Post Credit Show. I'm completely messed up.
Okay, Sean Connery.
Welcome to the Post Credit Show, where we talk about games we played, movies we've watched, and other sort of nerd junk we have done.
I'm Brian.
I'm Tony.
I'm Nick.
Chris, this went in a weird way.
Whoa.
I'm supposed to be after him.
He's really trying to take over. It's good.
No, I'm supposed to be after him.
I know.
Someone here threw this off.
No. I don't know what you're talking about. It's
Blaming
fine.
the other red shirt.
Seems fine to me.
It's a guy on your team. Can't do that anymore.
You still shoot yourself for some reason.
That does it. That's now
It's a
what
dual.
happens.
It's a
not what
dual-sided
happens.
blaster.
Speaking of what happens in Modern Warfare, which we've been playing,
You guys
if
have been playing
if
lots
you
of
get
it.
too many team kills, instead of booting you from the game now, it just reverses the
Bullets on you.
bullets back at you.
Yes.
So, for instance, Chris killed too many people last night.
Whoa,
And then-
Why are we bringing me? It's not me that
Because
does
this
it
was
the most.
because this was actually really funny. Was Chris had killed too many people, and then there was a guy with a shield that I was trying to knife, and Chris is like, "There's a grenade in there," and I'm like, "Yeah, if I die, I die." And then all of a sudden, Chris died because the damage reflected back at him, and it's like, "Oh, life now gets really interesting."
Is it damage or is it a limiting explosion that reverted back to you?
It was the damage
damage.
from the grenade
Oh,
that goes
yeah.
back.
Because
at
it
Chris.
would have killed him.
Right.
It kills me instead.
Right.
Well, because I threw
Oh,
it.
do
I
you still
saw
die?
them.
No.
Oh.
Nick
Oh.
is safe.
So I sat there, and the guy in front of me exploded and
No,
died.
from my perspective,
Yeah.
the guy went back in the corner. I'm like, okay, grenade.
Yeah.
And then Nick ran in. I'm like, no. And
Wow.
Does that a lot. He
That
just
sounds like
runs.
the next level of griefing.
It could be. Well, because we can't shoot each other at the beginning of the game anymore.
You
Yes,
just
right.
get automatically kicked.
Because you get automatically kicked out now. So now the new way is to like run into people's grenades or jump in front of Brian. Actually, either one of these two, all I have to do is run in front of them.
Start off.
And it's,
We
if
went
they
over
get,
this.
if they get, yes. If I hear a "Ah!" at the other end of my microphone, I'm getting shot.
No, it's shit.
Or
Sorry.
that.
Or I go, huh!
Yeah.
That's not the highlight. The highlight is the other night when they were talking. I think it was headquarters
Okay.
where they've taken over the thing. They have pot. Nick dies.
Yeah.
That was great.
Yeah.
That's great.
How does that?
It was just a random. Really?
How do kill streaks
yeah.
and stuff work then? Like, can you team kill off a kill streak
No.
and then
No.
you die?
No.
Oh, okay.
Kill streaks do not feed
I
into
can
your.
get killed.
Yeah, kill streaks don't. Your kill streaks don't feed into your kill streaks anymore.
Oh.
You can get a perk that does that, but it's all within the same life.
Yes.
So, for instance, you could jet, like, because again, you're picking your kill streaks. So, like, if you got the VTOL jet, which is 10 kills,
Sure.
you can also get a tank, but that's like 15 kills.
Right.
Or there's like the suit of armor that you can get, which
Yeah.
is
It's
17
like-
kills
yeah,
or something
something
like
crazy.
that.
I thought that was 50, and then
I'm not sure. I think there's a 17 one. I think that's the end one. I think the tank was 15.
the big one guy is the,
Yeah,
is the top one.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's 17, 15 or 17. It's something. It's a weird number,
Yeah.
I think. But either way,
20.
no, it's not 20. It's not up to 20 anymore.
Where's
But,
the one that fires the nuke?
There's no nukes.
There's no nukes.
Well, that's not as funny.
Thank God.
I
But
thought there was though. I thought I saw a video on someone did a nuke.
no, not that I know.
Your precision strike.
No, it was an actual.
No, the nuke just ends the
Yeah,
game.
nuke ended the game.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
it's
there
a
could be
kill
5 minutes left, and the game would just be over.
Yeah, it could be very early in the game. And,
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
Yes.
That's like 25 kills.
And then no one. Yeah.
But either way, if you have the perk and you get the jet that hovers and just shoots, that can add to your kill streak as long as you don't die.
Mhm.
So, like, if you
Yeah.
know you're good enough to get the jet every time, that's a good perk for you. If you're me, you have the one that makes it so you need less kills to get your perks.
Yeah.
Because then I can get
Yes.
Which one is that? Higher up?
Hardline.
hardline.
Hardline. Gets you.
It's on the
you
red.
just need one less.
Oh,
red one,
that's
so-
why. That's
You
'Cause
get ghost.
yeah. So that's why I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
You ghost. You.
Yeah. It doesn't help.
Still a stellar game. They've added more game types to hardcore mode.
Yes.
So in the hardcore game list now, instead of just picking team deathmatch, you pick all of these ones.
All the hardcores.
Anything hardcore is now in that game mode, so it's pretty awesome. Like there's night
Cool.
modes and
I don't think I'm a
Cyber
hardcore
attack.
player. So.
cyber attack, which is fun.
Yeah.
I'm getting a little tired of domination.
I'm getting tired of kill
I keep
confirm.
I like
Isn't that the
I
one
like
you have to
kill
pick up the
confirmed.
you have to pick up the dog
It's
tags,
so
don't you?
hard.
domination can be annoying.
Domination can be annoying
Yeah, that one
because
comes up a lot.
that's where you have to like.
I don't
king
like
of
the
hills.
knight.
I love
stuff.
the night maps.
Oh,
It adds such a different aspect to
Yeah,
every
but it's, I
map.
can't see anything.
I know.
Well, don't you have night vision goggles?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
whole
but
point
I-
is, but there's some people who have screens that can see better.
If you have a
in the
4K
dark.
television, you can see better than
I have
other
mine
people.
is 4K.
Oh, well, my settings are set differently. I can see real good. When I go into the cave, pitch black. When I'm outside, I can still see.
No,
I can't
well,
see-
yeah,
I
on
can't
that
see
cave
shit.
one, yes, I can still.
You just
see.
crank the brightness up on your gamma screen.
No, because you
No,
tried
'cause
that.
I tried that. It just turns everything gray. Like
It's on everything.
instead of black, it's just gray. Like you still can't see anything.
It's like playing Silent Hill with no flashlight.
Yeah.
So yeah, I can see outside, but as soon as I enter buildings and stuff, it goes pitch black. So then I need to.
Yeah. I like the strategy of search and destroy.
Yes.
I do like
I
search
really
and
like
destroy.
search
The
and
cyber
destroy.
attack adds the same thing, but you can revive.
Is prop hunt in the
hit or
game
miss.
yet?
Search and destroy is essentially Counter Strike.
Oh, you only get one life,
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's get the bomb, or one team gets the bomb and
or get the
One
get
percent
blow
the
up A or
defense.
B.
Yeah.
And the other
Or
Oh,
a
that's
cyber
very-
attack where there's a bomb in the middle and it's capture the flag. Essentially.
Yeah.
Is
But you
prop
can
hunt in the
revive
game
it.
yet?
No.
Damn.
Huh? Who?
Prop hunt. They've added infected
Yeah.
as a game
So,
mode.
zombies essentially.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
yeah.
then there's.
Remember they did that in Halo way back when.
And then there's Ground Wars, which is still in the game. But yeah, they're continually like every week there seems to be.
They added Crash not too long ago.
That was a couple updates ago.
I know you guys
I
probably.
still
want to
see this
already.
vacant. What's
You have to play Ground Wars.
Oh, that's Ground Wars. Okay.
I found it in Ground Wars when I had to. My daily challenge to get XP was to play Ground Wars, so I'm like, I'll play Ground
There's no
Wars.
prestige from.
No,
There is
they
no
took-
prestige.
They've taken prestige
So
off.
what happens is every,
Every
season,
your levels reset, don't
you
they?
get general. General.
I thought it was like you level up and then when
you
the
get
season
general
ends,
levels.
it resets your level down to like 50 or something.
55,
Yeah.
and then you get your general levels again.
Oh, so as long as I get to 50, I'll.
50 or 55, yeah.
So yeah, nothing like it's not like prestiging anymore where it's like, oh, keep the gun and keep going. This one, every level now unlocks a new challenge.
I don't want to go to a different gun. I like my gun.
So that
It encourages you to
yes,
different play.
Or it's like one of my challenges the other night was zero
So,
attachments.
it does restart the gun challenges.
No, not the gun challenges. It's new challenges
So everything you unlocked for this time
is there.
it will stay there
Forever.
even though they put you back down.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it drops you down to the
So that's kind of the
55,
nice
and then
piece
you
to
have
this
level.
one is yeah, you stay at the level you're like the max level, which means everything you've unlocked is unlocked.
Yeah.
But essentially what you're doing is playing for emblems for the season.
Okay.
And there's season specific emblems and you have to complete 10 of these challenges to get an emblem.
Oh, the daily stuff.
No, it's not dailies. They're new. So every level I get
Okay.
now, so like I'm level 88, I have an extra 33 challenges that I can do. Like one of them
I had to
is-
look at those. I don't know where those are.
They become in rank progression once you get far enough.
Oh, so I'm not there yet. I'm at 38. So
You also start getting tickets every time you level up. So there's that one mode where it's like challenge mode.
Yeah.
And that's that original, like you run through the gun range shooting the cardboard guys
Yeah.
that pop up and you can get prizes from that. But you need tickets, and to get tickets, you need to be past level 55. So essentially, the new season aspects to it, which lasts 2 months, are like the new prestige.
so it's almost over.
No, it just started.
Oh.
We're like 10 days in or
Oh,
12 days in.
I'm fine.
Yeah.
Well, as much as we play it, I'll probably get there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and that's my thing is
can't
like
wait.
I'm looking at the because again that we have also the season battle pass,
Mm.
Yeah.
and the
Dude,
cool
I don't
thing
know if
about
I have the battle pass.
you have to pay for the battle pass.
Oh.
But the cool thing about the battle pass is like Apex Legends and all the other games with battle passes, you have to pay for them to really see them go, like to have them go up fast.
Yeah.
Because if you pay for them, you get like triple XP, constantly.
Yeah.
Call of Duty's battle pass doesn't have that.
Okay.
It like when you buy it, you'll get like one perk that gives you double XP for half an hour. Like you can use it whenever you want to, like it's a token.
Yeah.
They'll give those to you as you go. Like there's free items on the battle pass, just like there are on other people's battle passes. But this one, everybody levels up at the same rate. So I'm already like level 33 on my battle pass. If I get to level 66, I actually have. If I buy the battle pass, it'll unlock everything on there
Yeah.
up to that point. It'll actually give me enough CP to buy the next battle pass.
So it's like he paid a one-time fee to
Is it a
continue.
monthly thing or is it just every season?
Every
season?
Every season.
You have to pay
So every what, like
$16 or
3 or
whatever?
4 months, maybe?
Every
Or
2 months,
every 2
you
months.
pay
$16, I think it was.
15, 16 bucks. But if you pay it once and you get enough CP, because there's enough CP in
So it'd have
the
to be a
thing,
test run to see if I can get that far.
but you don't have to pay for it to see if you can get that far, which is the nice piece.
Oh, I know. But
The only thing you would get advantages of is every once in a while in the battle pass there are 2 times XP bonuses you can pick up.
Those little tokens, right?
The tokens.
Yeah,
So there's
which is
free
fine.
ones, but then there's paid ones. So like you can level up a little bit faster.
Yeah.
But again, if you have a 2 XP token and you have junk rounds, it doesn't do much for you.
Yeah.
Like if
That
you have a
one-
2 XP token and
that
like
one, that
obliterate.
domination game last night, I got 54 kills.
Right, that would have been a
Yeah.
great time to have had it activated, but you have to activate it before the
Oh, I
fight.
know.
Like that's the piece is like you activate one and you're like, okay, get 2 kills.
I wasn't even the top person on that game.
Right, but that's the piece is like you get 2 kills and do nothing, and then there's games where you activate it and get 41 kills and you like do 2 levels in one round.
Yeah.
And it's just like, okay. But we're 10 days into this battle pass and I'm level 33. Like, I'm not worried about getting to 66. Like,
But
I'm
it's
honestly...
I'm at a low point
I
right
know.
now for doing anything. Low point. I'm starting not to do things now, so I could play more.
Right.
It's more when things pick up for me again.
Yeah, like
Will
you
I
have
be
time.
able
So that's my thing is, like, I'm looking at it going, like, might pick up the battle pass because there's enough cool stuff in it that... And I'm already halfway to where I need to be. And then if I get the XP, like,
But
bonus
then it's
boosting
consistent.
things...
If you can cancel it
it's just a one-time fee. Like, you buy enough CP to buy the battle pass
for that
that season.
And
And then
you
when
earn-
season 2 comes out, it's like season 2's out now, so
You
that
want
battle
it.
pass is done. If you'd like to buy it again, it'll be another $15, $16 because it's 1,000 CP, I think.
I
To buy
got
into
100.
it. Or it's 1,500 CP.
Yeah.
I'm at 0.
I think it's 1,000 CP
Get the
to
game.
get into it.
Do you have 130 gig? 140 now.
Yeah, it's a massive game.
140 gigs worth of.
I'll
room?
probably do.
Beautiful though.
I
It's,
probably
it's
do.
gorgeous.
Pretty.
And it
Oh,
plays
yeah.
so well.
I still have to try and get to that story.
What, the actual campaign?
Yeah, oh,
Yeah.
I do. I play those, and I'm
I actually play
If
more
there
Call
is-
of Duty for their campaigns. I actually
Oh,
like
Well, the
Me
campaign's
too.
good. I started playing it before, because we had bought it.
I bought. Yes, we bought it.
We bought it.
And
You couldn't play.
for a couple of days.
So I was campaigning, because I'm like, I'll wait a
Yeah.
bit to start playing multiplayer,
Mm-hmm.
because it's nicer. It is much nicer with friends. I'll play it every once in a while, just to like.
if there's trophy and co-op, there's
There is
Spec Ops.
trophying. Yeah, I'm not.
Spec Ops?
There's definitely challenges in. Spec
Because I
Ops.
remember in Modern Warfare 2, there was Spec Ops. That's I think when they first introduced it.
Spec Ops, yeah. Modern Warfare 2, yeah.
They're originally for that platinum. You had to do the Spec Ops.
Yeah.
On the hardest difficulty, I believe it was.
Oh yeah.
You had to complete them all 3 stars and blah
Yeah.
blah.
Yeah. So yeah, no, there's definitely challenges and all of that stuff attached to Spec Ops. And
But
again,
trophy wise,
yeah.
if I don't have trophies, then I'm not gonna go
I
out
know.
and do that.
see, and I don't mind because again, there's like charms and this and that for all of the like they've added so many collectibles to the guns.
Yes, I know, because you're trying to go for your platinum.
I'm not getting platinum. There's no bloody way I am ever getting
You
platinum.
don't know that. If it doesn't take away from your gun.
Oh no, eventually I might get platinum. But I'm getting to the point now
I
where
never
I'm
mount my
finding...
gun, so I don't.
See, I started mounting my guns because of those challenges.
I don't.
So the nice part is instead of like corners now, you can
Mm-hmm.
actually walk up, and if you're aiming down your sights, you can press R3 and you'll mount to the corner, and you can
Yeah,
actually
lock.
like
Lock?
lock
Yeah.
onto the corner, which is nice.
That makes sense.
But there's
That's-
challenges linked to the camo on your gun to get like 50 mounted kills.
Oh, I can do that.
So that's the piece is like
But that's. I don't do. I'm too busy running around just
Yeah.
shooting things. I don't really care.
No, I'm a tactical shooter.
But
I like
but then it
but it-
becomes you have to become not a tactical shooter because there's also camos attached to hip fire kills.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the worst.
And killing as soon as you reload.
Yes. Those ones are a lot easier than you think they are.
I'd have to have a quick.
No,
What's
it's not
what's the
that
timing
fast.
on that?
It's not that bad because I got that one fairly easy.
I'm still
Oh,
working on
okay.
those ones.
But yeah, like my P90 has the gold paint on it because I got all the other camos, and I was like, "Go me, I'm done." And then I went into that because it's locked until you do all the other camos.
Mm-hmm.
So I click gold, and next to it is more stuff, and I'm like, "Huh?" So I look platinum to get the platinum coloring for your P90. is to get gold on all the SMGs. Then there is another one, and that is to get gold on everything.
Some of those assault rifles would be tough. I think.
Right,
Are those actually trophies tied to
No,
those
no.
too?
No.
Okay.
See, that's why I'm not going for those.
They're
because I
your
don't
own
care.
individual, like, I wanted my P90 to be gold, because I really like my P90,
I like my
so I use
AUG.
my P90. And that's the thing, like, that's where I'm going to start losing out on some of these challenges that are coming at me now that I'm past level 55, is like, use a light machine gun, and I'm like, I don't like light machine guns.
You're too slow.
It's not, right, like, they're not my
Reload
playstyle.
speed is slow.
The nice part is one of
The
my,
big clip size.
Yeah,
the
that's true, I know.
daily
But
challenges
every time,
have been nice.
how I usually go about it is
Spray and pray.
no.
No?
Well, still yes, but it's fine. No, after I finish a fight, it's okay, reload real quick so I can get full up again. But
Yeah.
as I'm doing that reload with the LMG, there's a guy coming in.
Right.
Yeah, with LMGs, you got to make sure you're safe.
But that's a hard habit to
Yeah,
break. Because
it
after every
is.
fight, I'm reloading.
And then you just have to be ready on your alternate weapon.
Yeah,
See, and
to
that's where I
triangle.
screwed up yesterday. Was like, I'm sitting there with my shotgun, and because I was I had to get 5 headshots with a shotgun.
Yeah.
For one of my daily challenges, and I'm like, so I'm reloading because the one shotgun I finally started doing well with was like this it only has the 2 bullets in it,
Yeah.
The 2 shells.
the 2 shells,
Yeah.
and so I'm like, I'd fire, and then all of a sudden a guy's coming around a corner, and I'm like, switch to my alternate weapon, except on that loadout, my alternate weapon's a knife,
Yeah.
and I forgot.
Just throw the knife at him.
You can't. That's actually a different weapon. So he turns the corner, and I'm like, ha ha! And he just turns and shoots because I'm like, ha! And so my guy's just like,
You brought a knife to a gun.
It's
I
an
did.
Indiana Jones moment.
it very much was because
You're on the wrong
I was
side
on
of
the
that,
wrong
though.
side of that one. So
Now, are they going to add more create class sections?
which
There's only 5 created class.
I don't
Seems
know.
like
Or the loadouts.
That seems
Loadout
like a
sections. I don't know.
I don't know.
Because there's only like 5.
That seems like a lot.
Yeah, I only see 5.
But in remastered, it was every time you prestige.
Yeah, you
check
got
out there's no
another
prestige,
one.
you got another one.
Oh, I
Which
see.
would be handy because some of these challenges, like as soon as you reset anything, all of your gun's equipment goes away.
Yeah.
And
which
that's what I don't
sucks.
want to do. Is I don't want because I like how my AUG is set up right now.
You're right.
I don't want to lose
Take
that.
a picture.
I might
'Cause
have to.
Legitimately,
Because
it's
it's the optic that is the issue.
right. I had one challenge that was get SMG kills with your SMG being your secondary weapon while using that one perk that gives
Yeah.
you 2 primary
Yeah,
weapons.
yeah.
So I put my rifle as my primary, but then I had to reset up my. I didn't think about it, so I just did it on my favorited thing.
Yeah.
So I changed it, and all of a sudden I'm like,
Oh, I know, I
"What
had
was
that
my
issue.
P90? Like, how did I have it set up again?"
I
And-
accidentally went off at mine, and then
Yeah.
I was like, oh, and I had to spend a couple of in between games. to
trying to
get
remodify it.
It's just the lens. That's the issue.
Yeah.
That's my only problem with that. Is
Oh, and there are also reticle challenges. So on top
Yes.
of camo challenges, there's reticle challenges. So to unlock to unlock reticles, it's like get 500 kills with this specific
Yeah.
reticle
Optics and-
thing or this or that. And then if you switch to a different one, it changes the challenge.
Yes.
So if you're using zoomed in ones, it'll change. So it's like, oh my god, there's so much to unlock.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I like the even though if you notice on there when they do the counter UAV.
Yeah.
How your reticle
Yeah, everything's a little
jittery.
Yeah,
the names on top of your teammates are buggy.
So
Yeah.
counter UAVs are actually slightly useful even in hardcore where you don't necessarily have a UAV because it bugs out everything on the screen that's digital.
Yeah. And you might actually shoot your own teammate because
Right.
You
sometimes
just do that
can't-
anyways.
Yeah, Brian does that without the counter UAV.
especially with grenades.
So yeah, they've really
Yeah.
this is them refining their game to the point where it's like
It's pretty.
Yeah.
It's really fun.
it is.
I'll get it when it's on sale again. I'm not worried. It's always on sale.
Boxing Day probably.
Yeah.
Christmas probably.
Boxing Day.
We don't have Boxing Day
Yes.
on PSN. Do
Yes,
they
we
do Boxing?
They do.
Do they do Boxing Day
Yeah.
sales on PSN? Okay.
They do. Believe me, I know.
Yeah, someone would.
I might have to buy another hard drive.
Just a bunch of like hard drives stacked on the
Stacked.
wall.
Well, now I see how. Again, I've been interested for a while in getting that dock for the controllers instead.
No, to
Plug-in
charge
system, and then I would just
Oh.
go plug into the wall, and I could just use that instead.
Yeah.
I think I might be getting one of those.
I have
too.
one of those for my Switch.
I need. I think I need that, so I can just plug another. As bad as that is, and as much as the PS4's life is running out, get another hard drive.
It's still not
I
running
hope.
out. We'll play it for a while.
Yeah.
That's one of those ones.
Well, yeah,
where-
YouTube.
Well,
because YouTube-
I bet you when the PlayStation 5 comes out, you'll be able to play it on the PS5.
If
I
I
bet
can,
you-
if I can
I
move
bet
my
you
hard
will.
drive over from my PS4 to my PS5, that'd be awesome.
Well, no, you just re-download it.
Well, yeah, I guess you could. If they have backwards compatibility,
There will
it'd
be.
See, that's the piece where Xbox, like the controllers are going to work on the Xbox Series X, like all the accessories.
Well, I think
are gonna
but I
work
think
and
they've
all
said
of
the
that.
PS5 is going
Yes,
to be.
Which
that
is
was-
going to be really
That's
cool.
their
if-
first. That was their first like big thing when they started.
Because the
talking
PS4
about,
never did that.
yeah, they were very. adamant
They still
about-
don't play
they-
some of the PS.
So they don't. They don't.
Yeah.
They don't.
Disc-wise, you can go on PS Now and play
Yes,
those.
PS Now is the different story.
Can you use the DualShock 4 with the PS5, or do you have to get the DualShock?
Because
No
of the
indication yet.
sensor thing.
Yeah.
No indication yet.
They haven't said, but
That's it.
Xbox has said all of their accessories
Yeah.
are going to carry over, and I'm like,
I think that's really
kudos
smart.
to you.
Yeah,
Yes, that's
that's
smart.
really
Even
smart.
the new controller like looks very similar to an Xbox One controller.
They've added a
Yeah.
share button.
Yes,
Like,
it's not much different.
Yeah, I don't know.
They've added a
I think we
third
talked
button in
about
the
the other day. The PS5 controller, pretty much the same thing. So I
They said
wouldn't
that the shoulder buttons are gonna have like a motor in it now to have resistance,
Oh yeah.
which would be really cool.
But again, that's just if you want that upgrade, you can get that upgrade sort
Yeah.
of thing. Like,
Right.
I like the
I
fact
think
that
I-
you can use old hardware on the new systems.
I think with the talk of like backwards compatibility in this last generation going forward, that's definitely something that Sony will have to be
They have to
mindful.
step
They
up.
have to be. They have to
Yeah.
be mindful of that.
Yeah.
Because if they don't, that's huge.
Yep.
And there's even big talks of even going past PS4, like to PS3, to PS2,
Which would be
to
awesome.
PS1 games, like the discs.
But that's probably PS Now still.
No.
So-
They're saying like straight the discs. You will be able to play those games.
I don't
Again,
know,
that was the
really.
big
The
rumor.
way with PS Now, I don't know if you even need that though.
I don't. Depends. Like it's.
I mean, if you still have the discs,
and I
sure.
think the PlayStation 5 is far enough removed from something like the PS2, where if you have those PS2 games and they can support and play it, that's great. But some newer people might not have those discs, so there's another service for that. It's called PS
It's-
Now.
yeah.
So it's good for both
Yeah.
parties. Like being so far removed from that PS1, PS2 era, I think like for someone like us, I don't know how much PS2 games you guys have, but I have a shit ton.
Oh, so do I.
So like it'll.
I didn't own a PlayStation.
But that's
I have not as much as PS3, but PS2 is.
But that's the thing. But that's the thing. Like even with PS3, like there's far enough removed that if they can make
Oh
software.
yeah, that was 10 years ago.
Yeah, like
Almost.
if they can do PS3 games.
Yeah, I'm not going back to PS2.
No. But I'm saying like if you've got those games, you can still throw them into the PS5 and
Sure.
if it'll just work,
Yeah.
which I think would be very very good.
Oh yeah.
That'd be a very strong play for them to do
Yeah.
if they can get that done.
I watched the ABC Disney Christmas special. They lit up the castles.
Ooh.
Cool.
It was a very budget show. The teacher from Glee was hosting with Baby Spice. They both got to sing at one point.
An interesting combo.
It was you're
That
sitting there
sounds
going like
really boring.
you're kind of like Baby
Sounds
Spice.
boring.
They had Baby Spice in all of the different parks, and she was collecting all of like the so like the gingerbread
Baby
Mickey
Spice?
ears and all of the. Because
Why
Emma
not?
Button's got a new album coming out.
Oh.
That's her actual name. She can still sing. Like she actually could sing. The guy from Glee, Matthew something or other, is a very generic singer.
Yeah.
So you're just like, okay. And then they had someone else come out, a bigger name. I forgot who. But like a
Sporty Spice.
no, like a Sting or something like that, or like
You too.
no,
Michael Bublé.
Bono.
no. I think it might have been Sting. But he came out and sang one of his songs, not Christmas at all, just like opened the show with a song. And then Shaggy came out because Disney
Wasn't
and no, because apparently because he was in the Little
Was it on
Mermaid
the counter,
live
though?
action thing as Sebastian.
Did you find it on
Really?
the counter?
Yeah, and like he comes out as this and starts singing a Christmas song, and you're just
On
like,
the sofa.
do they
It
own
wasn't me.
Shaggy? Like, are they producing all of his albums, and he has another one coming, and they're just trying to hype Shaggy
Hype
back
Shaggy
up? Like and then they had the Pentatonics because of course it's Christmas, so you got to have some Pentatonics going on. They had some people perform in Galaxy's Edge. They showed off the new ride. Like essentially, it's a giant advertisement.
That new ride
for-
looks so good.
if it works, it's it's shut down on day one.
That is really,
Yeah.
really something of popularity.
Yeah. So it's one of those like it's an advertisement for Disney, but it wasn't very well
Yeah.
because they're paying like the performers weren't that great. It's one of those things. It is available on Disney Plus if you would like to watch it.
Oh,
I'd rather
good.
not.
So it is
I have
available.
other things to watch on Disney.
I've
Plus,
all other things on Disney.
which
is
we'll
there.
talk about later.
We can talk
We
about.
will.
We will get to Disney Plus.
I finished the first game of Shovel Knight.
Nice.
So I finally finished the main campaign of Shovel Knight. I have started Plague Knight's story, so now I'm playing as a guy in like the doctor's, the mask.
The doctor.
Yeah, the
was
plague.
from-
The plague.
The
Crow.
plague mask, yeah. And the game changes completely. It's all the same levels, but the game now changes completely. So,
I'm done.
which is nice. Like it's cool to kind of replay the same levels, but you have to play them differently because Plague Knight doesn't move the same way or have any of the same movesets that Shovel Knight does.
Yeah.
As these different games come on, the actual levels will change and the story changes and all of that stuff. So as I move into, King Knight and the other one whose name I can't remember.
Plagueis.
No, it's not. I've played Plague Knight, and then there's like Death Knight or whatever his name is, and he comes in
Is he
and
from
plays.
Warcraft?
No. But yeah, like that is a stellar game. And then I did try out Showdown, so I did like a fight against the computer. And it like you have life, and if you fall off the stage, you die, but there's also the life. So it's essentially like you're fighting boss battles, but you can pick who's fighting who, which is kind of cool. I tried out The Division this morning because it's on Game Pass. It got released on Game Pass, The Division 1.
And
After
I
everyone's
feel, like
moved.
I feel like that's a multiplayer game.
It is
I've always looked at those, and you can play them single player, but it wouldn't be fun without.
How many people are still playing? I guess is my question.
There was a lot of people actually in the safe house, but as soon as you enter, like they do the Warcraft thing where if you're in a certain part of the story, you don't see people.
Yeah.
So for the intro, you're only seeing people
Yeah.
who are playing the intro. And as soon as you leave the safe house, it's like, now you're in danger. And I'm like, there's no one on the street.
There's
Don't pretend. It's a cover-based shooter. So
Yeah.
I heard the loot kind of stuff is weird, where it's like this hat will provide me with all
Armor,
kinds of
yeah.
like weird kind of bullet resistances. It's a hat.
well, because it's an MMO. Like, they're
It's-
playing this
yes.
off as an MMO loot kind of thing
Yes.
where it's like...
It breaks the
but instead of-
immersion. The immersion is broken a little bit when you wear two different hats and they provide different bullet resistances.
Well, so, and here's the nice thing is they do have a cosmetic-y thing. So if you've picked up a hat and it changes the color, but you like the blue hat instead of the red hat, you
Yeah.
can go and change it back
You
to
can
the
do
blue
that.
hat. So...
But it's just weird.
Well, it's their way of, again, instead of doing a medieval shooter where you're changing armor, this is their way of changing armor. You have masks that you can get because the whole thing is someone contaminated like a bunch of $20 bills, and then Black Friday hit, and all of these people are coming out with this strain of the flu that's killing people. So like most of New York is dead, and you are now called in because the Division are these like covert people who have been living among you
Yeah.
for all of this time until like their watch starts blinking, and then they're activated. So like the intro is like they could even be your friends, and there was two guys sitting at a bar, and the one guy gets up and just kind of pats his friend on the back and walks away. And you're just like, okay.
Now
And
you
then you create your character, and there's like 5 faces, so you're either like white, Asian, Hispanic, black. Done. Pick a hair, like so. All the
game-
white guys are gonna look the same. All the Asian guys are gonna look the same, other than slightly different hairstyles.
This game came out a long time ago, though. Right? So, like 4 years ago.
4-ish
Which
years.
I've heard
4 or 5
Division
years.
2 is decent game.
Yeah. It's not a bad game, but like as a cover-based shooter, I can't duck while I run.
Yeah.
I think the big debacle about
That sucks.
yes, that does.
There doesn't seem to be a difference between shooting a guy in the body versus
So
the
is it
head.
like Gears then?
Yes. Except you're running around as a human and not like, you know.
You don't have a
tank.
nice, you don't have a sick ass chainsaw lancer.
Yeah. Bad guys have levels. You have levels. So depending on your, like, it plays like a Borderlands thing where you have levels and you shoot things and numbers pop up. But like Borderlands where you shoot a guy in the head for a critical, or you shoot them, and again, they're all humans, so shooting them in the head should be
Yes.
Killing
the
them.
critical. Yeah, no, it is not. Like, it's just numbers keep popping up, and the numbers seem to be the same whether I hit them in the chest or the head.
Oh, weird.
So it's like aiming doesn't really matter.
It's just it's just rolling dice.
It's kind of just, yeah, it's like I attack you, a bullet
wonder if
hits
they
you.
fixed
You're
that.
How's the
That's much
visuals
better.
though? Like, I think that was the big debate.
It looks nice.
Because when the game first came out or was released, well, it was
Yeah.
announced, it was one of those Ubisoft games where it's like,
Yes.
this looked like amazing. I want to get this. This looks amazing. Look
And
at
then
all
you
this
got
stuff.
it.
And then this looks like shit.
It's not bad. Like, I feel like I'm in a world. It doesn't feel like I'm in a
But it doesn't look like that reveal trailer.
I
They
I
never
threw that
do.
out of my mind. Yeah, I've stopped.
Yes.
Yeah.
But like that was when Ubisoft was bad for that kind of stuff. Like Rainbow Six
Yes.
was bad. What was that? Watch Dogs was bad for that.
So
I
the nice
like
thing was
Watch
is I
Dogs,
reached
though.
one of the like levels, so it's like the dungeons,
Yeah.
and you get to the front and it goes like, would you like us to matchmake you? And it's like, no. So you can run these things on your own.
But I think it would be more fun. With
Yes,
other
it's a
people.
It
multiplayer.
would
Yes.
definitely be fun with other people. But again, with you guys, I don't want to play with random people online for this one.
Yeah.
Because again, that's the problem. Battlefield, I don't mind playing with random people because there's...
Well,
like-
that's a quicker game.
But there's also 24 of us.
It's a quick game.
It doesn't really
It's-
matter.
yeah.
If I get put into a squad
And it's less
of...
co-op-y based too.
If I get put into a squad of 4 people and we're it, if I screw up,
They're gonna notice.
We're gonna bug
I'm
you.
screwing over people.
We're
and,
bugging you.
and I don't like that piece. If I screw over you guys, I don't care because, one,
Wow.
I know
Nice.
you guys.
Wow.
we can talk about it, we can laugh about it. Like when I run in
Some
after
people
you've thrown a
you don't know.
grenade,
You don't know if someone's gonna take it too serious.
Exactly.
right, like I don't need to ruin someone's night by doing
If
something
you wreck
stupid.
someone's night over a video game, that's their problem.
I know it's their problem, but then I have to deal with them screaming at me through a headset.
Mute.
And if I want to finish the level, I have to put up with them screaming at me through a
Mute.
headset. And I don't
Mute.
like, but you can't mute in a game like that because again, you need to be
Coordinate your
communicating a bit
guys
more.
Yeah.
Like that's my thing. I don't
I
mind
don't
playing multiplayer games where I can hop in, I play with some people, I end up with new people and play. If I'm
Well,
playing
it'd
with
be
you
like
guys,
Anthem when we played for a while.
which one?
Anthem?
Yeah,
'Cause we had the
Yeah.
random people that would come in.
yeah, and I turned that off when I didn't play with you guys. Like I flew solo if I was
Yeah.
playing by myself. If you guys were there, yes, and then sometimes we'd forget to hit the button, and all of a sudden, yeah, we'd end up with 4th guy.
And
you're
we'd be
just
like, "Oh, we're so sorry, 4th guy."
Well,
But
we
you-
weren't sorry. Anthem we never screwed up on.
Yeah.
Well, Anthem was pretty hard to screw up on.
Yeah.
There was only so many. Yeah.
Shoot, fly, shoot,
Right.
fly, shoot, fly.
But yeah, this one feels like they're like even leveling up. I got to level 3, and they're like, you now get an action roll, and I'm like, I couldn't roll before. I'm an elite agent, covert agent that has been waiting for my time, and
Well,
I
you've been
can't
waiting so
roll.
long.
I forgot how to
You're a
roll.
little rusty.
Yeah.
A little rusty.
That's
So
what it
yeah, the mechanics of it are a little weird. Like I say, you get into a gunfight and you're moving from cover to cover. You have to hold A to move from cover to cover. I can't just walk in a
It does
crouched
seem,
position.
it feels to me that it would be Gears.
It feels very Gearsy. I had to like up the camera movement and stuff to actually feel like I could shoot things in a regular manner. Like, and that was my
760.
problem with Gears of 5 was I feel very clunky and slow.
But I think you're designed to feel a little.
But then I
clunky.
die because it's
You're supposed to have that weight in Gears though.
but I feel like I have weight in something like Battlefield where I can still at least aim, and yeah, the gun feels heavy, but at least I can still like, because again, in real life I can look places quickly, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like I need to move faster or do anything like that. Gears just seems like it's very, you're not really a person, you're a tank.
You're a tank.
And I think that's their whole.
That's how
And that's
always
Gears.
built it,
yeah,
Yeah.
that's their aesthetic, right?
It just feels very clunky in today's day and age of
Yeah.
gameplay. So the Division kind of feels the same way, except I don't look like a tank. I look like a guy in a hoodie with jeans
It's a
on.
very
Everyday,
heavy hoodie.
the everyday person.
Yeah. I have, like,
Mhm.
that's the piece. Is like, I shouldn't be moving as slow as I'm moving.
You're not used to it.
I'm very much not used to it, especially, again, after coming off Call of Duty, where I can slide behind cover, and I can do
Yeah.
this, and I can do that. This game, from a third-person perspective, I feel like I should be able to do a lot more than I can do. So whether the Division 2 fixes a bunch of that stuff, and yeah, like I say, Gears of War, kind of clunky, that's Nick. I'm done other than the one thing that we all watched that we'll talk about at the end.
Cool. So there is something I was watching with the past couple months, but I totally forgot to talk about. Parks and Recs is a great show.
On what?
Parks and Recreation.
On what?
I'm watching it on Amazon.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Amazon Prime.
Alright.
Because I
I
have
forgot
it.
it's on there.
Yes, I didn't realize it until I subscribed to it. Man, that show is really funny.
Oh, it is.
God, I think I love
It-
that
it-
show just as much as I do The Office.
It has the same issue as The Office, where it took a couple seasons to get really
To
going.
get into-
Well,
See,
because
I
the first
didn't- I
season
didn't-
they
I
tried
didn't-
to be The Office.
I didn't find that. I found as soon as I started watching episode 1, 2, like the first couple of episodes, I was all in. I got what that show was doing,
Both-
and I got the humor that like who Ron was, who Leslie was,
Well,
Chris Pratt's
that's
character,
previous
Andy.
experience, though. You
Like-
think about going from scratch. Both The Office and Parks and Rec, they both had the same issue in the first. It just felt like their
think-
jokes felt a little flat.
I think the jokes were better in Parks and Rec season 1 and now maybe it's just part of me being able to just go at it, like binge it. Maybe that helps a little bit. Like
Season 2 was
because that way
a
I could
lot
just kind of
better.
I felt I had to slog through season 1.
Yes.
I loved season 1. I very much.
Season 2 when you started adding Andy in more, and
Andy and
Yeah.
just
you took out the guy, the love interest for.
oh
Leslie
yeah,
in the
I'm
first
really
one.
glad he left.
Yeah.
He actually provided nothing to that show.
And that's, I
He
think,
very much provided nothing. If there was a weak point in season 1, it was him.
yeah, I watched the first season and went, I thought this was supposed to be a good show.
It's a
I
good. It's
liked
good.
it.
Like I said, it picks up after a while.
I
But
actually-
that's the piece, was like, it wasn't a show that I wanted to keep
Personally, I think
watching.
season 1 was fine. I think it was really good. It was still really, really funny.
And I
didn't-
never finished Parks.
I never.
Well, I haven't gone through the entire thing. I went to season
I am on.
4 or 5.
I am on season 4 right now.
I think
The max
think
I've gone
I
is
got
4 or 5.
to season 3.
So the season I'm on right now, Leslie is currently running for
That's where I think I've ended up.
a
That was probably 4.
office or something like that for Pawnee.
Yeah.
And I love this show. It's just so funny. Tom Ansari's character. I can never pronounce his name.
Aziz
I can
Ansari.
never pronounce his name.
Yep.
He's amazing. I love Jerry. Jerry's great. I don't think
Jerry
he's-
is the Meg of Parks.
correct. They just
Yeah.
riff on him so hard, but he's actually
No reason.
for no reason. Like, what was that one episode I was watching where Tom and Jerry had to work on a project, and Tom's like, oh, or it was like, Tom, Jerry's gonna be your second. Oh no, he's not gonna be your second. He's gonna be your fourth. There's only 2 people working on this project though. And that's fine. Andy's great. I love. It's weird seeing Chris Pratt like as this character after seeing him in so many other things.
In more like action roles.
More like action roles.
I was
and
gonna
just
say,
more
'cause-
mature roles. Let's just say
Oh.
because
Yeah.
Andy's character is not.
That's his character that he was on Everwood, though, too. Like, he went from that actor to... Like, he's lucky that James Gunn picked him up for
Guardians.
Guardians.
Yeah.
Because that really veered his career in a different direction. Because, yeah, like, I remember watching Everwood, which was, again, one of those shows where you're just like... Someone had a bright idea to make, like, a doctor show where the doctor already had limitless amounts of money. So it's like, we're going to move to a small town.
Yeah.
And it's like, and I'm just going to treat people for pretty much nothing.
Yeah.
And we can have characters that do whatever they want because we have limitless amounts of cash. And you're like, okay, and yeah, he was like the older brother to Agent Carter's great niece, because she was in that show.
Sharon.
Yeah,
what's her
Sharon Carter.
Yeah.
Like she was the daughter in that, like the love interest in that show. So he was like the dumbass big brother. And then he went from that to Parks and Rec, and I'm like, okay. And then all of a sudden it's like, he's gonna be Star-Lord, and I'm like, Nick's confused. Like,
And then,
Yeah.
and
then
then
Jurassic World.
and then
and
Jurassic
then,
World.
and then like I say, and then his
Yeah.
He got into that like
well, 'cause
sarcastic.
he got into shape.
Yes. Also getting. Into
And
shape
he
ups.
was slightly funny, so like he
Yeah.
pulled a Ryan Reynolds and just kind of plays the same guy
Just
doing
sarcastic,
Well, I
funny.
think the passenger
man.
or whatever, he was a little more serious.
Yeah.
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 okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything else, he's that goofball
Right.
guy.
Yeah, that show is just so funny. I love it so much, and I know people like riff on season 1, but I think it was perfectly fine. It was perfectly like there was no.
I'm not saying I can't get through it. It's just
I didn't
it's
think
a
there was.
little-
I didn't feel like it was slow.
compared to the other seasons.
Oh,
rougher.
it's definitely it was finding its ground in season 1.
And that's the same
And-
as Office. The
but
Office.
I think-
Office really picked up in season
Yes.
2
Yes.
because it really found where it. its
Well, because they
niche.
weren't trying to be the UK office anymore. They were
Yeah.
trying to be
They're
Well, 'cause
their
they
own.
they passed it.
Now, how many seasons is there for Parks and Rec? 5 or 6?
9.
9 seasons? No, that seems like
Oh, I think there was.
There's,
That seems
eight
high.
there's 8 or 9
that seems high.
because it went on a couple years after Office did.
I don't think it's that far.
Okay.
I think it's like
I love how all
6.
3 or 2 of you were checking.
7
Yeah.
seasons.
7 seasons. Okay, so yeah.
Close.
Right in between everybody's answers. 5, 6, 8, 9. Should have just settled on 7.
Yes, we didn't get there.
You
Yeah,
don't settle anything.
I'm super pumped. Ron Swanson is the best character in TV history.
And again, he's just playing Ron Swanson.
And,
so
and
we're-
I'm totally okay with it. And I'm totally okay with him playing him.
Yeah.
Nick
name.
Overman,
He's just
Over-
playing Nick Over.
yeah, Nick.
which is
Yeah.
fine. I'm totally fine with that. he does a great job.
The Tandy episodes are the best though with him.
Oh my god, Tammy 2 and then Tammy 1. Tammy 1 is in the office. Tammy 2 is like, oh shit.
There's Tammy 3.
Is there a Tammy 3?
The mom.
Oh
is
right,
Tammy
Tammy
1.
3. Okay.
Mom
No.
is Tammy 1.
No.
Yes.
Ta- ta-
Mom is
ta-
Tammy.
Yes, but not Tammy 1. Tammy 1 is the
His actual wife in real life.
No. Tammy 1 is the IRS one, not IRS one.
The librarian.
No, that's Tammy 2.
The blonde one was.
Yes, the blonde older one. That's Tammy 1. And then
His
his mom
was
is just called Tammy.
His mom was Tammy as well.
Yes, but it's just called Tammy. But in the show's canon, they call her Tammy 1. It's very weird and confusing. It's
There's
I
3
don't.
Tammys.
Yes, there's 3.
I'm not wrong on that.
Yes, you're right. Yeah, Nick Overman's just great.
That's why you two are just looking at each other.
Parks and Rec is great, guys.
You should
love
probably
it.
watch it.
It's so good.
Try watching it.
It's so good.
I don't have anything to stream it.
Do you not have the
a
Amazon?
PS4.
He doesn't have Amazon.
I don't
Oh, you
have
don't
Amazon
oh,
Prime.
okay, that would help. Yes,
Do you-
it's not on anything really.
Do you
else.
want to share, Brian?
It's okay.
We can talk about that later. I have a $40 account. I have a $40 a year
$40.
Amazon account.
Why are we shushing?
I'm just because I don't want you guys getting in trouble. Because it's the one time where Amazon will actually watch the show, and all of a sudden everybody loses their Prime account. So I'm censoring the
You're not censoring anything. You're just
You can
making
come
a
up-
loud noise
here,
in the
hold on.
background.
which
This
censors
is
the
how we'll solve-
auto-tune
This
things
is how
from
we'll solve
hearing
this.
you
Brian,
say things.
you can come over and watch it.
There you go.
There we go.
Problems.
You can look at my phone,
Problems.
Watch our phones.
and then you can watch The Boys as well.
Yes, The Boys as
Oh,
well
The
is amazing.
Boys.
I've
Boys
got.
is good.
I haven't
Season
really gone.
2.
I haven't gone through season 1. I just.
You really need to get.
I
on
knew I do, but other stuff gets in the way.
that. I know, but still,
I had a pretty busy couple of weeks.
I think Nick is looking through the whole stuff here.
So I've been watching Parks and Rec and just loving it. Just loving it. I love it.
I'm just looking at it.
And my wife, I watch by proxy. She binges House, so I watch that by proxy. I don't really care too much about that show.
House is amazing.
It's
House
a good.
is amazing.
Oh, I know it's a great show, but I just,
And this side of the table wakes up.
I just find it funny.
I never got into it either. So
I just find it
love
funny
House.
that it's like he makes like 5 different guesses and they're always wrong,
Yeah.
and then meanwhile dragging people
That's how
through,
diagnostic science works.
and it's just
testing.
Yeah, it
and
very
he's
much is.
and he's supposed to be this amazing doctor, and it breaks my
Because his
Per-
whole thing is supposed to be
I'm gonna poke you this way. Nope.
Well, no,
I'm
so,
gonna poke
like,
you this
he-
way. Nope.
instead of
I'm gonna
should
poke you
see
there
how
again.
our medical system
right, like
works.
instead of a doctor going through oh, let's test for lupus.
It's never lupus except
Right.
for that one time.
So, but that's his thing is they can go through everything and be his mind is it's not this, it's not this, it's not this, it's not this. Like he can eliminate 90% of the things,
Right,
and then that a regular doctor it would take all of that time to figure
it's
out.
just it's a part
his
of my
whole
mind.
genius is okay, this,
This had a counter thing.
And I'm gonna try
and then
something
he
else.
tries
here.
something and
He's
it doesn't
like
work.
He's like the Sherlock Holmes of being
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
the whole
that's
point.
why
That's why they
he's-
got an English actor to come play.
an American.
Yeah,
An American
and that's
role.
why his name is House.
They actually didn't know that he lives on Bleecker Street.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is he really?
420. Yeah,
Yeah,
he
it
lives on the
is
same
like a
address, yeah.
medical Sherlock.
It is. They
Yeah,
built
it
it
is
that
a
way.
medical Sherlock show.
And then
hired him
Wilson
without
is supposed
knowing-
to be Watson.
Yes, then they hired him without knowing he was British.
Oh yeah, because he did such a good job in his.
He taped his thing and
Yeah.
he sent it in, and whoever was the showrunner, the guy who was running the show, was like, "Great, that's what we need, a red-blooded American."
and he
So they
was an
hired him.
Englishman.
And then they brought him over, and he's like,
Hello.
"Good day, chaps," and it's like, "What did we do?"
Oops.
Hold on.
Hugh Laurie's amazing.
Hugh Laurie is just a great actor too.
Yes.
So that, I don't knock it. The only part is
It
he's-
follows.
I
It follows
just-
the same
yeah.
plot every time. Where
Yes.
it's find this not
Yes.
working, find this not working.
As the seasons go
yeah.
on,
There's more.
things-
There's more pieces. I'm like, I thought that character left the show. Why is this? Why are they back?
Oh, they're very good about bringing a
Yeah.
lot of people back.
Yeah.
The
and I think they just
problem-
it becomes one of those shows where a lot of the actors just enjoy being on that show.
Yeah.
They like working with each other, which is
Um,
it's kind of like the
There's
How I
only
Met Your
one
Mother.
actress that didn't like working with everybody, and she doesn't come back, and that kind of throws everything off in the last couple seasons.
Yeah.
Because they had to write her out, and then, as things progress, you're like, oh, there's episodes where almost everyone comes back except her, and you're just
Yeah.
like, and that's just the actress being a jerk,
Kind of, yeah,
essentially.
egocentric.
Is that a newer character or is it one of the older
It's
ones?
one of the
Those are
originals.
originals, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Oh, is
Young one or old
is
one?
it
Huh?
is it
Young one or old one?
is it the blonde hair one?
It's none of his people.
Oh,
Yeah.
then I
It's
don't-
it's other hospital staff.
oh.
The older, the
So yeah, think about
older.
Like, think about it as like if Wilson just left one episode and
Oh, was
never
it
came
Cuddy?
back. Maybe.
Okay.
Hetty.
Cuddy.
Cuddy.
She's the head of the.
I really don't care.
But no, like that's the
But-
piece is like where
So I figured it's
Yeah, I know.
like the
Yeah.
younger one is the other.
No.
His
like it's
I'm surprised
it's
that
as
she didn't-
jarring at because they wouldn't pay her as much as Hugh Laurie.
Well, because
Correct. She's
'Cause
not the
she's
not the
not
name
not
of
the
the
main
show.
of the show.
No.
Correct. I am all about equal pay. I am not about equal pay when it comes to like.
When you don't
Deserve it.
when you're
you
the
are-
supporting cast, and
Right.
not the lead.
Now, there's a big difference if she wasn't getting paid as much as like Foreman.
Yes.
That would make
Yes.
sense. Like,
Yeah.
or on par with Wilson. Like,
Yeah.
she is in that area of
Supporting
cast. But Hugh Laurie as the showrunner, I believe.
Showrunner and name of the
Or
show.
like,
Name of the
like
show.
he's the lead. He's the name of the show. You gotta pay him.
and he's Hugh Laurie.
And again, he's
Because
Hugh
how many
Laurie.
seasons is that? 7 or 8?
Oh, that one went on
One
for a
was
while.
a
too.
lot.
Oh, you have it, don't you?
Oh, yeah.
he owns them all.
They're in a box. They're in boxes up there.
Well,
feel like
they're
there's
on
like-
Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
I have
At least
oh,
7,
they're at the
'cause we're
bottom,
on
'cause
7.
H. Yeah.
At least
I
we're,
see.
think
I
7.
see up to 7 up there.
Then 7.
we're at least at 7 right
The
now.
yellow one.
Yeah, that's the yellow one is 7 and 7.
So
Because after that is Kyle XY.
6-5.
I don't know. Either
Yeah.
way, either
4, 3, 2, 1 is over
Okay.
there.
either way, that's that's one of the shows
The
I've been
TV
watching.
shelf was there, and then it had to move because we ran out of room.
Really.
I hear you.
Well, okay, so here's our problem was I had my DVDs, and then my wife moved in, so I'm like, as I organize, I'm like, well, TV shows all have to go together. So with her, she brought in, like, Dawson's Creek,
Woo.
and Kyle XY,
Ooh.
and the Veronica Mars DVDs.
Okay,
and
those
it's
are alright.
like,
Those are
Kyle
Mars
XY
is
was
good.
actually a pretty good show. But like, so all of a sudden I'm adding them to my DVDs, and I'm like, I am out of room. Because the Gilmore Girls ones are clearly mine.
Eh.
Because that is an amazing show.
I'll take it or leave
I
No,
thought
it's
yours was
amazing.
Dawson's Creek too.
Hmm?
Thought yours was Dawson Creek too.
No, I can't stand Dawson's Creek.
it.
There's a difference between witty romanticized writing and teen drama shit.
There was a meme of like someone going, I thought GG meant Gossip Girls. I thought GG meant Gilmore Girls. And there's like gamers. I thought GG meant Good Game. Anyway.
Meanwhile, in Pokemon, GG means something else. There's a there's an attack. There's an
Oh.
attack. It's an attack.
Giga.
It's a GG Max. It's a for the cards.
Gigamax.
That's
Kind of.
GM.
Speaking of Pokemon, I've
GG.
I've finally got time to actually sink time into Pokemon Sword and Shield.
Pokemon?
So I still freaking love this game. Like it's
So would you say you're busy right now?
because it's Pokemon Sword and Shield.
Would you say you're busy with games right now?
Yes.
You don't want to add a third game in there.
What is the third game?
I'll talk to you later about that.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Sword and Shield is great, guys. Like don't. I know you guys hate on it because it's like, oh, there's no, Pokemon.
They don't have all the Pokemon.
It doesn't matter. You don't
It
feel.
does matter.
You don't feel like you're gonna miss out on anything.
Yes, I do.
Like it's actually great, guys. Like there's so much more to this game that they've added. The Dynamax stuff is great. The raid battling stuff online is
Dynamax?
amazing.
They
They get bigger now.
They turn into kaiju.
There are great what am I trying to think of? Quality of life of improvements over the past games. I know
Bulbasaur.
it's coming. He'll be in there eventually. When you pick up items on the ground now, if it's like a new item to you, it'll actually give you a description of what that item
it
actually
is.
does, rather than having to go through your bag to sift through like, what does Revival Herb do? I totally forgot what that does. And it actually gives you an explain.
Nice.
It does that with all the TMs now too, where it's like, this TM is called Brutal Swing.
Yeah.
What does Brutal Swing do? It does this. It does, like, you can... it's great, guys. Like, this... I love Sword and Shield so far. My team currently is 90% or new Pokemon. Like, all the new Pokemon that are in the game. I've got Korga... Hold on. I can pull it up here.
Remember the fish we were talking about, Brian?
Oh, yes.
My Pokemon...
It was going to be like a modified TIE fighter kind of
I
thing.
currently have Yamper, which is the new Corgi Pokemon. I've got Korga Squire, which is the new Bird Knight Pokemon. I've got Carkol, which is the new Coal...
TIE fighter.
Fire Coal Pokemon.
Yeah, sure.
I like it. He looks freaking cool. Like, he looks fucking cool. I'm sorry. He's amazing.
The new Pokemon,
Yeah,
that's
it's so
great.
good.
That's not
Where's
what
my
bugs
Squirtle?
me.
It's not even. You know
And
what?
so-
I don't know.
It's not even like the
I
Pokedex thing too. It's
I think the game is amazing. The wild area is a really cool addition to the entire experience. Essentially, it's like one area that's got
Dangerous.
all the Pokemon in there in different parts of the zones.
Yeah.
And based off of your badge level, you'll be able to catch and fight those different levels of Pokemon. So, if, for example, if you go into the far areas of the wild area without enough badges, you can fight those Pokemon. They will mess you up.
Yep.
And even if you try to catch them, you can't even catch them because they're not their guard is not down. So you need to have X amount of badges. That's how they level gate the wild area. And being online, you can actually see other people online playing the game with you, which
Like
is
you see
actually
their-
you actually see their characters moving around. Like it's actually really cool, and you can
So
actually
it's
talk.
not just you in the world.
It's not just you in the world anymore. This is the actual. This is the dream. This is the dream of like a. This is the dream of like the MMO.
It's a step.
towards
It's in that world where like you can
We
see
have
ev-
different dreams.
you can see
I have a
every-
very different dream. Yeah.
you can see everyone around you. Like
Yeah,
it's actually
which is nice.
that's what we've always wanted, where you can interact with other players at the same time while having your own game.
That's not
It's-
what I wanted.
This is what I wanted. This is what a lot of us have been like clamoring for. I think the game's not perfect,
Yes.
obviously, but like it's none of these Pokemon games are ever perfect.
There are some steps in the right direction, and
I
yes.
think there are many steps in the right direction. The fact that you can now when you boot the game up from a cold save,
Yeah.
it just jumps you right into the game. There's no like menus or any option. You just load into your game, which
Nice.
is really really cool. The online stuff is still there from the last game, where you can do wonder trades from Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, and X and Y, where you just randomly trade Pokemon away. That's still here, and they've even streamlined it so that when you say, "I'm gonna, trade this, this Weedle or whatever," you can keep playing your game. You can
And
keep,
eventually
and eventually trade you. You don't have to wait at a menu to make that trade happen. Because sometimes not people aren't ready to trade or
Yeah.
they're not trading at
Yep.
that time, right? So there's a lot of streamlining to this game that actually makes a lot of sense. You can see Pokemon in the grass, like in Pokemon Let's Go. So if you see like a Geodude or whatever that you want to go catch, you can still run into them. But on the top of that, there's actual Pokemon that are still hidden in the grass that will jump you. So there's still that element of randomness when you go into patches of grasses. So in the wild area, there's tons of Pokemon, and it's all weather based too. So if it's raining, I think it changes per hour. So it could be raining, it could be bright sunlight, it could be snowing. It depends on where you are as
Quite
well.
their range of weather.
Oh yeah, the wild area is huge. It's think of the Breath of the Wild.
I never
That's
played
how
it,
big-
so that's a problem. I can't.
Horizon.
Think of Horizon. It's almost that level of like
Alright.
size. Maybe not as big, but it's that comparable nature to it. Pokemon gym battles are different. They are. You still have to do the gym itself. Like you have to fight the trainers in it, but each gym has its own different challenge. Rather than just fighting the trainers, the first gym I just finished, I had to herd the Wooloo, which is that new white sheep Pokemon. You had to herd them into a specific area before you can move on to the next section of the gym. And it just provides a little bit of a different take to the gym challenges than we've seen in the past. So it's not so much the Alola stuff where
Yeah.
there really was no gyms, but there is still that gym challenge.
Yep.
Or the arena challenge.
Yeah, whatever they were.
Island challenge is what they called it.
Yeah.
It's a mix between both worlds because you still fight a gym leader at the end. And for the first time in Pokemon history, like the gyms in this game in Sword are different than the ones in Shield.
Right. That
So
was
you
their mix
have
up
like
this time.
2 or 3 that are common to both games, but some of the gym leaders I will not experience because they're on my wife's game. So she'll experience fighting the Ghost gym leader, where I will experience the
Very.
yeah, I think it's like it's something
Yes.
different. It's very different, like the Dark Gym or something like that.
Yeah.
Is what I would experience, and I think that's really really cool. Like it provides a level of not just replayability, but the incentive to go play the other game if I really want. If I really let me tell you about Pokemon being the number one children's merchandising product in the world. They know how to merchandise things. I think this game is amazing, guys. Like, it's still... I think you guys are all selling it short between all the stuff
yes,
that...
I have my reason for it, and I've expressed that.
It's more than the Pokedex thing.
No,
I don't know.
it's mainly
It's
the
just,
Pokedex.
I know for you it's the Pokedex thing.
I don't have an issue with the moves being... like, animations on the moves, because the... people were always knocking how the animations are so like static. They're not
Yes.
really changing
Yeah.
anything. But if you actually look at the game, there's actually a ton of different animations in for each of the Pokemon, because you can actually set up a camp and you can actually play with each of the individual Pokemon. So they actually all have their own different animations already. So that's where everything is being funneled around,
And
rather
I
than
think
just
that's
being
where
in
it's like,
battle.
they didn't do the things I wanted, and that's just like my opinion.
Right, like
Yeah.
it's the piece. It's
Yeah.
not the game that.
I think this is...
Because I
still-
wanted battles to look like
Like
battles, not just use double kick, bring, bam, bam,
Yeah.
kind of thing, right? Like that just bugs me,
I think-
especially on this kind of technology that we could have. Had.
There's so much more to this game than that. I
Yeah.
think it's Dynamaxing provides a huge level of complexity. My only knock so far about like the whole Dynamax and Gigantamax system is that it's only available in raid battles and in gym leader battles and, and certain versus battles. So it's not just like a Z move or a Mega Evolution where you can
I
just
think
pop
that's
it off
okay,
anytime.
though.
You can like
It evens a playing field.
it does it does even the playing field.
Yeah.
It's weird to me when I can't Dynamax whenever I want to,
Right.
whereas I could Z move or Mega Evolve.
See, I like the Z moves. I think that was the nice
Balance.
between Mega Evolutions and like.
And when you
something else.
Dynamax, you actually each of your moves changes into a G Max
Yeah.
version of that type.
Mm.
So it's kind of like having a Z move.
I know.
3
but-
Z moves, in fact.
But you can only Gigantamax at certain times. So like
You
that's
know,
what I say.
you-
Like Z moves were kind of the nice in between.
But you can, I don't know, because you can Gigantamax and you have it for 3 turns. So essentially you have 3 Z moves.
Right.
Rather than just 1 Z move.
Yeah.
So I think the new mechanics in this game are fantastic. I love the fact that you can make your own trainer card and trade that with other people online.
Nice.
That's all different poses you can do. So far, there's no real connection to Pokemon Go, which
Which I think is
I don't
good.
think it doesn't matter.
Doesn't need it to.
It doesn't need it, but it would have been cool if it did have something. Yeah, ask me anything. It's this good. Seriously, like it's,
Why can't I catch all of them?
Chris is really hung up on that one.
you're never gonna be able to catch all of them. Yeah, I
Yes,
think
I can.
no. Name a Pokemon game where you've actually caught all of
That's
them.
not the point.
No, that is exactly the point. I think they.
I want the
think-
option to be able to do it.
Have you though?
Been really close.
In yellow.
But have you? Yes. Back when there was only 151.
51.
Now there's almost 1,000 Pokemon.
Variety, man.
Yep.
The Pokemon that's in here still has a really good variety. Like they've got all generations, not just
Not
from
just
like
the new generation.
not just new generations, but not just from like Kanto, but like they've taken Pokemon from each generation and added them in. And yes, Kanto seems to have the most that have been dropped, but it's fine. I think it's making way for some of the newer
Where's my
Pokemon.
Squirtle, Bulbasaur, all of them.
I think
I was hoping like
I still think this game is fantastic.
I'm not saying it's not a great game, but that's why I'm not buying
Yeah.
it. I have my reasons.
Yeah. For
You
me-
can enjoy it. I'm not saying don't.
I think you guys should give it a chance.
I'm not gonna spend $80 on a game that I'm gonna be disappointed that I can't catch them all.
For me, I would love a Pokemon game where I don't have to just be a kid like trying to become like beat all these gyms
You
and
want to
be
be
a
an
fight.
adult beating on kids?
No,
with
I want to be
Pokemon?
like a breeder, like just the breeder or the.
And you can still do that in this game. You
Yeah,
can always
it's-
still do that.
That's not like the point of these games, which is. I know that's not the point of Pokemon. Period. It's just I like to just
I get what you're talking
breed
about.
Pokemon.
Yeah.
You just you can stand outside the daycare and
Yeah, I
hatch
could, I
eggs
could,
and
I
send them out
could.
during winter with
Yeah.
the surprise trade if you want.
Yeah.
That's how I got a lot of my level 1 starters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I it's just there was enough stuff coming out where it's just like this is.
Well, there's that too. But
No, there's just it wasn't what I was expecting out of a console Pokemon game. I guess is my big.
They did take a lot of their mantra of a handheld game
Yes.
and
Yes.
kept it
So
here.
that's
So there is that.
That's
But
partially my fault. Like I had really high expectations and it didn't meet it. And
I just
I
had-
learned set the bar low.
I know.
And then you won't be
I think I had
disappointed.
good my expectations were met so far. Like I mean, it's preaching to the choir here. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, for me, like, I love everything Pokemon. So for me, like,
Yeah,
Yeah,
The guy
for
in the
me, it's
Pokemon
great.
shirt says. Yes, exactly. No, and that's
Like,
understandable.
That's understandable.
So-
So it's good. I'm glad you like it because I'm glad it turned out good. Because
Like, it's-
I would hate for you to buy it and be like, oh my god, Pokemon is horrible.
This is not Pokemon. Yeah.
Right.
I kind of hope that there's going to be an update sometime in the line which allows me to use the touch screen. There's no touch screen
there's
on
no
it so
touchscreen
far,
right now.
which
Oh, yeah.
kind of
Seems to go the trend though.
but that surprises me because the Switch
with
Lite,
all systems though.
but with the Switch Lite, you can't dock it, so that's it.
Yeah.
That's your control method, right? Between the controller and the touchscreen. So like, I get
Yeah.
why you wouldn't have touchscreen controls if you're gonna dock it. That makes sense to me. But have an option where you can turn it on, like
Yeah.
touchscreen interface,
Yeah.
turn on and off. Because there's a lot of interesting game quality of life improvements in the options menu. Where before, when you used to catch a Pokemon, it would always ask you to rename it. You can turn that off
Oh
now.
yeah.
Where you just catch
Thank
a Pokemon,
God.
you catch a Pokemon and it throws it into your box. You're like, you don't have to rename it. Like it's great.
Yeah.
So everybody knows what happened when I last 24-hour thing we did.
Yeah, you just renamed
Yeah.
everything.
Dicks.
Different
Dicks.
Different.
Vagina. Oh yeah, vaginas.
Yes.
Named after vaginas.
Correct.
different.
The Pokemon boxes follows you now, just like with Let's Go, where you don't have to go to a PC anymore.
Yeah.
You can still go to a
just
PC.
your backpack,
Yeah, you go to your backpack. You can still go to the PC to interact
That's
with
core
your
Pokemon.
box, which is fine.
Yep.
They've added now Pokemon jobs, where essentially you're sending out Pokemon and sending them in to do hard labor.
We are so terrible at the Pokemon.
It's so weird. So like one of the jobs is like, oh, we need like strong Pokemon to help build this the shack over here. Send us 3 of your strongest fighting Pokemon or whatever, and you send them out for 24 hours and they come back, and if they're the right type, they gain a lot of experience points and they bring in you items
Right.
in return. So I need to actually check that because they should be. I sent some Pokemon out. I haven't really dabbled online yet, just other than just seeing people in the wild area and trading with them. I am kind of intimidated because video game competitive stuff has always intimidated me. I'd like to get into it a little bit more just because
You
it's
just jump into it. You'll lose.
Shoot Brian a little. I mean.
yes. But I just hit myself in return.
Just come around corners right in front of me.
It just hits
My
me.
corner game is awesome. That's why I get shot by you guys all the time.
I really like this game so far. I haven't really been disappointed with it, other than the touch screen stuff. I wish I could touch the screen,
There
and
you
that's
go.
about it. Touch.
See, look.
Yeah, but like I said, it seems like with all systems that they have add new feature, and for the most part, they go away from it all the time. You look at the
Yeah.
PlayStation when they did the touch.
Yeah.
The touch bar.
The touchpad. Like, how often do you use that now?
Not very
I use
much at all.
I use it a lot in the next game that I've been playing.
Does it actually have a
Yes.
point to it?
Yes, it does have a piece to it. It's not like a
But,
big piece.
but that's a rare game to be having it, though. Like, not every game.
Yeah.
I
has
press
that
it
feature.
quite often to see my score sheet. Thank you very much.
But actually use
Okay,
the,
but
I
you're
think-
not
but I
using
think-
it for anything
Oh no, it's a
else.
button.
Yeah.
It is now the select button.
Yeah.
Yes, essentially it's a bigger
So,
select button.
even in the game I'm playing, it had a purpose, but
Yeah.
it's
I know.
I think Becoming Human was the only
I'm actually just-
one that mainly used it.
I'm actually disappointed. I played what is that Will Wright? Not Will Wright. The puzzle game where you have to draw the lines.
Connect the dots.
It kind of was.
Now out for PS4.
I can't remember. I can't remember the name of the puzzle game I was playing. Anyways, it was a long time ago. So I've been playing Pokemon, and then I've been juggling that with Death Stranding.
Excellent.
I
Do you know
finally
what's
got-
going on yet?
Still no.
Excellent.
how far in now.
I've gone to Port Knot City, which
That's
is
not
the
helpful, is
the second big city.
How many hours?
I have probably sunk 20 hours into it so far.
And you still don't know?
And you still don't know what's going on.
No, sorry, maybe 10 hours. Sorry,
And you still don't know what's going on.
No, classic
Pizza,
Kojima.
pizza delivery guy called in sick. That's the story. So now you're
I am the delivery man. I am now. Look at me. I am the delivery man.
Dominoes.
Yes, I will go anywhere to get you your pizza. I will go across mountains. I will put up ladders to go across these mountains. I will set up ropes.
It took you longer than 30 minutes. The pizza's free.
I'm sorry it got old, all right? It's like the rain hit it, and
So what new stuff have you experienced now?
I've
in
actually
Death Stranding?
I've gotten into some more combat now.
Oh, good.
I've gotten into combat against the BTs. I still don't know.
Robots?
I don't know what I don't know what BT stands for yet.
All right.
I think has something to do with the
Big
beach.
Transformers.
Beach transforming? I don't know. Maybe.
Beached turtles.
Oil monsters. Let's call them
Oh.
essentially oil monsters.
That's normal.
Essentially, they're oil monsters. Oil ghost monsters, essentially, is what is happening.
What we've
'Cause
seen in the trailers before.
Yeah.
what you saw in the most recent trailer is very reminiscent. It's very accurate of what happens. Is what happens when you're going through the mountainside or whatever, and there's a lot of these rainfall things that I was telling you guys about.
Yes.
The time fall. That's where a lot of these BTs end up spawning, and essentially your goal is to kind of sneak around them. But if they catch you, they're gonna drag you into this like in between world between death and living.
Matrix.
It's very weird, and then I don't know how to explain it. It's the world changes around you, and then it's all this oil substance that you're trying to walk around, and it kind of slows you down. And your goal is to get to higher ground so you can throw these grenades at the BT, and they're non-lethal damage. And the crazy part about it, and this is part of the story that I still haven't figured out, the character that they play as Sam Bridges, which is Norman Reedus.
Yes.
He is unique somehow. It hasn't been talked about why he's unique. Something about his
Cheats.
he cheats. Yes, he cheats death.
Genes.
Oh, genes. Also, maybe I'm not sure.
Mutation.
It's because he's from
It's-
the PT game, guys.
It's from he came from PT.
He came from
He
PT.
came, he was fighting the ghosts.
Yes. This
So
is all just in his mind.
yes, he's actually just on his
He's
death.
having an
He's in-
anxiety
he's-
attack in his house right now.
He's in a coma. He's in a coma. And essentially what his body is doing is it excretes this like his excretions, his pee, his like poops, his
Right, 'cause he has to be poop.
his bodily functions. Like you can actually weaponize it against these BT creatures, and you can actually it's so
I
weird.
can weaponize mine too.
You can-
Everybody can really weaponize their pee. I'm just
Really?
saying.
You
No
really
one. Well, okay, not
So-
no one. Most people.
you
don't
should
wanna get
you
pee on.
shouldn't weaponize your bodily waste.
P-bomb!
Poop
If monkeys
bombs.
can do it, I can do it too.
Yeah.
Essentially, you're flinging your own like.
I don't understand what the problem
It's
is
so
here.
weird.
I weaponize my excretions all the time.
Do you not? I'm doing it right now.
That's why I have a Darth Vader poster in my bathroom. Target practice.
I'm done right now. I'm doing it again. Essentially,
Yeah, that's why I have a lightsaber. You throw it out.
exactly.
Slice.
Oh God, then it's all over you.
And it's everywhere. Yeah, that's.
Like you're doing it
Man,
wrong.
you gotta practice, man.
Then you're doing it
You
wrong.
gotta practice.
Yeah. So essentially, if you get caught
People
with
are
one of
gonna
the
throw poop.
BTs, you get dragged into this in between limbo world, and you have to fight them. And sometimes they're different
With your
monsters.
poop?
With
With your
it's
poop.
with your poop. It's very 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 Kojima-esque.
Oh
You
no,
just-
I didn't eat
okay.
enough today.
Not enough fiber in my diet.
Do you just like have a sack or something?
Yeah. So what happens is during missions.
You just pull down your pants and go.
No, you just
You
stuff
actually
your hand
can
down.
do that.
Stuff your hand down.
Oh,
your
dear
pants.
Lord.
You can
You
actually
can do
you
that?
can you can actually like pull your pants down. Well, not pants down.
mid-battle?
Yeah, it's very weird.
Well,
But during
if Mel
missions,
Gibson can do it.
yes, in mid missions you get a private
owns
quarters
them.
area,
Oh.
and you can essentially use that area to kind of freshen up. You can drink your branded Monster Energy drink
Excellent for energy
for energy because everyone knows in the post-apocalyptic world the one thing that survives is Monster
Monster.
Energy drink
And
Oh.
cockroaches.
and Twinkies.
and,
And Twinkies.
Monster in the Twinkies. Like the cream filling is the Monster Energy filling. Man, that would just
You
last.
take your Twinkie and dip it in the monster.
Yeah.
So does his spit count as a weapon too?
I think so. I don't know. It's not quite.
Start licking the bad guy.
And so what happens in the
Yeah.
just lick the bad guys.
Yeah.
He
Again,
said all of his bodily stuff.
I
so-
don't know
most
yet.
people who
I
you
don't
don't
know
know
yet.
that well don't like getting licked by you. It's a pretty
You
good
spit
weapon.
at them.
Yeah.
So in the middle, in between missions, you have the private area where you can kind of relax. You can sleep in your bed, but you also have a shower. You have a urinal, and it's from there is where they're collecting all of your bodily excretions. So like your peeing samples, your
Intentionally?
yes,
And then like
Like,
Ziploc.
for everybody or just him?
for him,
Oh.
specifically for him.
Just
And
so
so
you can weaponize it.
yes, and so they're kind of realizing like, oh, like Sam's like a little bit unique. We should do a little bit more analysis and tests
Steal
on
his
him.
poop.
They steal your blood. They steal your blood. They also
If you bleed on them, do you kill them?
no, but you can fill the grenades with your blood and then throw at them.
So yes, you complete on them.
It's like
Yes.
AIDS, the 80s.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. BTs, take AIDS.
No offense. I'm sorry, that might have been an offensive
It's not. It's fine. It is. It's
What if you work up a sweat?
Eat my AIDS.
Well, really,
That's
Sweat bomb?
he sweats and tackles one of them and just starts kind of like,
I don't know. There's.
And that's where you start peeing.
yeah,
Perhaps
exactly.
we should. Kojima, are you listening for Death Stranding 2?
It's like heavy petting, but unwanted heavy petting.
What are we going on to next?
I'm dying.
Yeah.
That's the next level.
That's what
Kojima,
I'm thinking too.
Kojima, take note. It's Death Stranding 2. So you can essentially
Is
defeat
it
the
just
BTs.
back to the robot thingies or whatever?
BTs?
Or is it back to everybody?
BTs.
Back to which?
Like your bodily stuff. Is it
Just-
back to everyone?
Just
Like, so if, you
just
know,
the
like,
just the ghost.
if I were
BTs.
Sam and I peed on Brian, he
No,
wouldn't start
he would.
I would
disintegrating.
No, it was just.
You'd be
It's just.
grossed out.
It's just those
Again, why
monsters.
pee is a good weapon.
But essentially, it's
Someone's
your.
bugging you.
It's your. It's
Yeah.
you're a delivery person. My initial impressions with picking up the gear and then loading it from point A to point B is essentially Kojima thinking like, oh man, why do I need to bring all these grocery bags in one trip?
A game. Yeah.
Hold on, I need to make a game.
need to make a game.
That's exactly what the impression I get is because you're loading so much stuff onto Sam, and you're trying to trench through the mountains. If we have too much stuff on you, your cargo is gonna lean back and forth.
See, I feel like that's a good indie game.
It is technically an indie game.
I get that, but like it is a.
It is a technically
High quality.
high
Yeah,
quality.
like-
Hideo Kojima Productions is technically an indie studio.
But like to me, an indie game would be like, oh, this game does that, but it lasts 3 hours and then it's done.
Yeah,
it's
no,
not
this is
like,
the whole. This is from what I've
50-hour
seen.
game.
From
Right.
what I've seen so far, it's
50.
I mean, I'm only in
500.
introductory portions of it so far. There's
Right.
definitely characters I haven't met yet.
But like,
So-
does the delivery stuff stop after a certain point?
No, that's the-
or
that's
that's
the-
the
that's
whole.
the
that is
whole-
about half of a that's a
Have you
chunk
met
of the
the
game.
baby?
I have the baby.
Yeah.
Do I get money like when I deliver? Like, do I get like?
So the purpose of the game is
What do
that
you get when you deliver?
you get likes, like digital likes, and
So
so that so it's basically your score in the game. And so what has happened is you're basically transporting stuff from point A to point B, and no one does that in this world. Like it's very
Right, that's
very
true. Same
very
last
few
time.
people do that, and that's what gives you your reputation. And then from that you can build more structures. And the other portion of the game is building things. So you're rebuilding society, you're rebuilding America, you're building out structures
Right,
like
but we
roads.
can't build together. That's yeah.
You can't build together, unfortunately. You can see each other's stuff, but I don't think you can build together, from my understanding. Which is but the game is just beautiful too. Like there are some
It does look
there are some
amazingly-
vistas that you just stand on top of it and like this seems like a picture.
gorgeous.
It's like a painting. No, it's one of those games where you see that point over there. If you can get there without dying, you can get there.
Like Breath of the Wild.
But like the difference is, in Breath of the Wild, it's easy to get from point A to point B. In Death Stranding, a lot of it is making sure you go through the correct territory.
Yeah.
You have the right gear on you to set up a ladder. Another resource that you have to also manage is your boots, because your boots also have wear and tear as well.
Yeah,
just
heard
like
that,
Which
yeah.
makes sense.
so. But it's not just like not like it dissipates in like 5 minutes or anything.
Right.
It's like 4 or 5 hours. You have to
It's
replace
like
your
real
boots.
hiking.
It's like real hiking. It's actually really, really cool in that aspect. You do use the touch bar to interact with the baby and as well as call out to other
you
players.
pet it?
No, you can
You
actually
shake it.
You
You
shake
shake
the
the baby.
controller to calm the baby down. That's another.
You shake the baby.
That
So-
sounds like a very bad idea.
So
Yeah.
I figured that out when we were talking about that, and I ended up playing the game because one of the mechanics is that when BB,
Yeah.
that's the baby, when there's a BT around you, it gets really nervous and gets really scared. And so one of the actions you can do is you can calm it down. And so I tried doing a really fierce shake, and it didn't like that at all. It actually went down more faster.
Oh.
So you actually have to do
So you
an
do have
actual
to shake it
an actual
properly.
motion up and down and left and right. You actually need to shake the baby
Gently.
properly and gently for it to be a little bit more calm.
Calm the hell down.
Oh, hold on. Upside down. Calm the hell
There you
down.
go.
Future fathers here.
I know, right?
That's teaching us. It's a baby simulator.
It's a good thing I'm not playing it. It sounds like.
Yeah, that is.
I really like this game. It's
Did you use
it's
the
not.
touchpad though.
you use the touchpad to call it to other players, and so it's. I don't know if it's helped in the game or not so far. When you press it and swipe on it, he actually calls out to like it's Sam, or it's like there's like anyone else here and stuff like that. I don't know if it's actually it's
Everybody
in game.
knows who you are.
Yeah, I don't know if it helps in game or not.
Everybody
Like,
knows your name.
I know I've touched it more than I have because I need to. I've touched it. I've pressed it more than I have the options menu because you need to pull up your orders and your mail and stuff like that to see your directions. A lot of the game I've found so far is planning a safe route.
A safe route.
Because when you pull up the map, you can see where those danger zones are, where a lot of those BTs are spawning, where a lot of those enemy mules are spawning. And a part of me is kind of figuring, like, I don't know if I'm playing the game right or not. Because one of those sequences I had to go through BT territory, and when you're going through that area, it's the rain that's falling down. And I was explaining it to these guys last week. Anything the rain touches, it actually accelerates the time on that object. So it actually ages things if you're not covered properly.
Don't want to take care of a baby? Put it in the rain. Adolescent. Bam.
Takes care of itself.
Yes.
Instant.
But yeah, in the in-game mechanic they call it the time fall, and so as Sam, anytime you enter time fall, he automatically puts that hood on.
Yeah.
But the cargo doesn't get a hood, so if you're trying to go through the territory, you have to manage your cargo's life essentially. I think the cargo's quality, because if you spend too much time in it, it'll degrade your equipment. It'll degrade your cargo that you're trying to deliver, and that impacts your score. And so I'm not sure if I'm supposed to go through those areas or not. I'm trying to, I don't know if there's like, I'm taking the wrong route or something like that, or I'm not bringing enough ladders with me because the first time I encountered a BT, it was the most stressful situation I had ever been in. Because I was kind of weaving back and forth to essentially dodge them. One of the in-game mechanics is that you can actually hold your breath so that they can't spot you. And so you can hold your breath and walk past them, but it drains your stamina meter
fast.
very fast.
Yeah.
And so a part of that was, and the worst part about it is if you don't let go soon enough and it drains all your stamina, he takes a really big gasp of air.
Right.
And then they kind of find you a little bit faster. So I'm not sure. It's very stressful, kind of managing, and there is a bit of stealth still in this game, surprisingly. It's because it is a Kojima game. I would expect no less, but it's not the stealth that we're used to.
See, and I think from like any other independent studio, for me, it would be you're building up to transport stuff faster, better, stronger.
And you do.
So there'll be a cover for it later.
And there is.
Okay, so
There
that's
is.
the piece.
There is. So I'm told down the line you can get like a little dolly.
Yeah, you talked about that one.
There's a little dolly with a little
Hoverboard.
repulsor thing on it, so it actually hovers, so you can put more stuff on it. You can build different vehicles that you can put gear onto, so that'll lessen your own load and as well as lessen your boots wear and tear, so you can just drive. You can build certain structures to power those.
That'd be bad going through the BTs though.
Yes, and I found out the hard way the first time because I was like, oh, it's raining here. I'm on a motorcycle. Maybe I'll just... I could probably speed past them. You don't.
You don't?
You don't. They just grab you, and then they bring you into the world faster.
Oh.
So I found that out the hard way.
So you still got to avoid them, but at least you're
Yes.
more mobile. Like that's the piece.
So and that's part of me. I'm not sure if I'm playing the game right, where it's like, oh, I've entered this area with timefall. Should I just kind of like book it, kind of get out of here, or do I take my time? But my cargo then suffers, it decays a little bit faster.
Yeah.
Like I'm not sure if I'm playing the game properly, or if it's by design that I'm supposed to feel stressful about it. Because I do. I feel, but it's not like
follow the story, and then you know you're on the right path.
But I want to do so much. Like there's so much side stuff that I want to do. Like the area where I am right now.
Trophy related?
No,
Then don't worry about it.
but I want to do
That's Chris's motto.
the Chris mantra. Yeah.
But I just want to experience as much of this game as I can.
Yep.
And I'm having a good time with it, even though it's.
See, this sounds more interesting than Pokemon to me.
Oh yeah, this game I'm picking up.
Death Stranding's fantastic. I think everyone should still play it.
Yeah, this game I'm definitely. It'll be a on sale game because it'll
Oh,
be
yeah,
forever till I can actually.
How many gigs
Play
does
it,
it
play
take
it.
up?
I'm not sure. I bought the disc.
We still see it. I still see Far Cry.
I think it's like 50 something gigs, maybe. I don't know. You can just search it up later. It's not big. It's not anything bigger than. It's not Call of Duty. It's
or
not,
Red Dead.
or Red Dead.
Oh god, Red
Oh,
Dead.
I still want to play Red Dead someday.
I still need to play the first one.
PlayStation Now.
Do you have a PS3?
Yes, I do.
You can borrow it.
I'll have to hook up my
Is
PS3.
Red Dead on PS now for PS4?
It is. It is.
Oh.
But it's the streaming.
it
It's
was
not. It's not download.
Yeah, I thought
I'd
it
rather
would never
download.
come to PS4 though.
No, it's on the PS Now.
You
Like you have
can't-
to. That's their subscription.
Yeah.
service, So like.
I would rather, if it was a download, you can keep it on the console. I would prefer that, but it's only streaming.
Yeah.
But yeah,
If you
Death Stranding.
have
I
a
think it's so
PS3, I
cool.
can let you borrow it. I've
He
done
doesn't
it.
have a PS3,
He doesn't
I don't have a
PS3. I have a
PS3.
PS3.
but you also have it on
I
Xbox.
also have it on Xbox.
Borrow your PS3, borrow your game.
Yeah, 'cause
I
you-
could just buy it on Xbox.
you
Yeah,
can buy it
Steal
on PC.
Xbox after he's done.
You can buy it on PC.
You can get it on PC.
No, you can't. Red Dead Run 1.
Red
Yeah,
Dead
you
1,
can
no.
get Red Dead.
Yeah,
Red
that's
Dead.
the. If there was Red Dead 1 on PC, I would not have this issue because I would have had it already. But yeah, I really like Death Stranding. I don't think it's Game of the Year though. If I'm being honest, I don't think that it's Game of the Year.
Did I write down a game
I
of the year?
I do.
I got a lot of things in contention for Game of
So-
the Year. I got a lot of things in contention for Game.
I have no idea what it is for me this year, but it's definitely Death Stranding is up there.
Up
It's got. I love the music in it. It's that Breath of the Wild way of like it's subtle music, it's quiet music, but it picks up when there's a good scene.
Yeah.
There's a reason for the music to come up, and let's talk about licensed music. There's a lot of licensed music in this. That's a lot of like not indie music artists, but like more.
Well
Maybe
known.
not from like America. They are
Yeah.
from America, but like they're smaller known. They're not
It's
indie.
like video game music artists.
Kind of. They made songs specifically for this game, which I think is always a good nod. And
Yeah.
but yeah, no, I like Death Stranding. They recently pushed out a patch, which has increased the font size and the font width because I couldn't see it before, and now I can actually read it without actually squinting on my TV, which is a huge benefit. And also, it fixed the griefing problem where people would, because part of the game is if I put the ladder down, other people can use that ladder in their own game. And so essentially, if I build roads, other people can see the roads. If I build like a vehicle,
Can you shut that off?
no, you can't.
Yeah.
It's part of the game. That's the Strand part of the game where it's a multiplayer but a single player experience at the same time. But what people have been doing over the past few weeks is they will take like big vehicles and then block off major story points in the game, and then when people go to those story
They're being
points,
asses.
yes, essentially they're griefing it. So essentially, if you don't bring like a rocket launcher with you or anything to destroy the vehicle, you couldn't get past that point. And so this
That's so terrible.
this most recent, that's fine. Kojima Productions, they were on it because as soon as they found out, they're like, we're gonna put a patch in. If there's anything in the way, you can just basically dismantle it.
Because it's
So-
like that's like someone just want to watch the world burn. You just want to just piss
Correct.
people off.
Like, shut
Meanwhile, Nick's like throwing trucks everywhere.
Truck here. Truck here.
I'm gonna dismantle.
Ryan, where are you right now? Truck here.
Oh, there's ladders there. I'm gonna dismantle all
Bathroom.
Toilet in the middle of the living room.
But yeah, I think like, Death Stranding is definitely a game that everyone needs to play.
I do want to try it.
It's
yes.
so cool.
Eventually.
Yeah, that's again.
It's
It's,
so
it's on my
6
list.
years from
The
now.
list is so long. Of like,
Right.
6
But
years.
this is definitely on my like I need to play this game right away because
Right away.
it's super fun and super unique.
Yeah.
For that matter, like it's as far as like brand new IPs go, I think this definitely takes the cake for me. Like I haven't seen a game like this in so long.
Since Metal Gear Solid.
Basically since Metal Gear Solid. Yeah. That's between that and the one TV show that we've all watched.
Yeah, excellent.
Oh, so I have the question about Disney Plus. Is there no like consistency for their old shows?
What do you mean?
Like I was watching Chippendale
Yes.
the other day, and I was like, cool, like it's Chippendale. It's full screen.
Hells yeah, it is.
It's so good. And then I watched some other cartoon. I think it was like maybe Darkwing Duck or something like that. It was in that era,
Yep.
and it was black. The black bars were there.
It depends on how they've been released on DVDs, because that's.
Is that
just-
how that is?
Yeah.
Is that how? Because
Yeah.
I was like, I want to enjoy some Darkwing Duck now. I'm like, oh, where are these black bars from? What the heck? I mean, it was still a great show, but
Yeah.
I'm like, going from Chippendale to that was very jarring.
Right.
So
Yep.
yeah, I've been watching that, some Disney Plus stuff with you guys.
Cool. I've only played one other game. I realize it's been 3 weeks.
You've been busy. It's all good.
You've been busy. You've been
Okay.
busy.
It is that time of year.
Well, almost. I'm not. I finally beat Far Cry 4.
Excellent.
Excellent.
I
Have
like
you gotten all the trophies yet, Chris?
No, but Tony and I are
Test,
going to have a
test.
discussion about that.
Are we?
Yes.
Are we having a trophy competition?
No, he needs it. There's co-op.
Yeah, there's a.
trophies.
I need to find my Far Cry 4.
That's yeah.
Kind of what I figured.
That was
I
the
need to
discussion
find
that
my
he had
Far
to
Cry
have with
4. Okay.
Yes.
All
I was
right.
going to wait for that conversation for a little bit longer.
Okay,
but
that's fine.
We want to have that now. Yes, I am pretty much like 4 or 5 trophies from finishing.
Because
this.
I do have Far Cry 4, right? You check my...
According to your trophy list,
Okay.
you do. You haven't played it in like 4 years.
No, like 2 years maybe. I played it recently.
Okay, then it
I have a
should-
RoboCop gun. The RoboCop gun is great. That's the
I
only-
just need you to drive me places.
Like
Drive.
Oh, drive. Oh, that's very different.
The 2 trophies I need you for.
That's very different experience. Trophy. Bing.
You want to know your Bing?
Oh no!
It's like a Janet Bing.
No, the two co-ops that I'm missing, because I did the other online one by myself. Because I was actually surprised I could find multiplayer people on there. Where I'm the passenger in a vehicle and I do a passenger takedown of another vehicle while you're driving.
Do I get the trophy too?
No, it's only the person
Okay.
passenger.
So then
I
you swap.
not that I care, but I'm just curious.
And the other one is I would need to be invited into your game to play as the secondary character that comes in after Act 1 and take down the outpost together. Which outpost would be super easy.
Am
to
I
do.
already past that point? I must be.
Yeah, according to your trophy list, I believe you are
Okay,
past Act
okay.
1. I had to double check that because
Okay.
He did some research.
I did.
He's
I
been
enjoyed
looking.
that game for what it was worth. I thought.
Oh
it was
no, it's a good game.
it was super fun. But honey badgers are terrifying.
For a little thing, yeah, that's weird.
Yeah.
In real life,
Yeah, they're
badgers
terrifying.
Are
That's
awful.
That's accurate to
That's very
real life.
accurate.
I love the
Badgers
fact
are
that when
terrible.
because when
Yeah, but I brought this up before. I'm pretty sure the animals don't act like this in the wild, as aggressive as they are.
Well, no, because
I love the fact that when the honey badger actually spawns, and if there's NPCs around, they actually like freak out and say like, "Oh my god, honey badger! You don't give a shit." They actually
I-
say that. I'm like, "Oh
I'm
god."
pretty sure an eagle just doesn't randomly come down at you and start clawing you in the face.
clearly you've never.
If you're close to a nest, maybe
I can believe that.
it's
They would-
possible.
No, it's random. There's no nest. It's just
You don't
random.
know that.
Ah!
Juki Juki.
Get out of my nest.
Uh,
Translation: Get out of my nest. I like that. I like Far. I think I like Far Cry 4 more.
The most?
The most. Well, I haven't played what 5? Is that the newest one?
I think
No, New Dawn is the newest one.
No,
No,
5.
no, five's
five,
the
and
number
the New
one.
Dawn is the
Yeah, but
spin-off
New
of.
Da- yeah, but it's still a game in itself.
Yeah.
It's the newest one.
I don't think I played that. The caveman one.
The
Nobody
Primal.
wants to.
Primal.
I got it for
Primal.
$9.
That
I
looks
haven't
Nobody
gone
wants
very
to
far.
play it.
That looks terrible.
Yeah,
It's not bad if you've never played the other ones.
you should probably play the other ones.
Maybe don't lead with that.
No, it was a good game. But I don't know why.
I like the colors in it. I like it.
Yes,
I like the colors.
The ending was kind of. It was another one of those games where it was anticlimactic to me.
That's too bad.
Like it was you got to go get to the final boss. You got to fight your way up, but once you're there, it's nothing.
So build up, build up, build up.
And then you get to him.
Is there a trophy for the hidden ending from the beginning?
Is there a hidden ending?
In the beginning.
No.
Yeah, because the first part of the game is he's sitting you at the table and he has to go take a phone call, right?
Yes, but you don't have a gun at this point.
No, but like there's a hidden ending where if you wait long enough, he comes back and he like blows your head off.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, but I don't know if there's a trophy.
No, there's no
associated.
trophy for that.
Okay, then yeah, yeah, because it's one of those scenes where it's like you can. He literally tells you that I can't remember his name. He says like, hold on,
Pagan.
yeah, Pagan. He's like, he takes a phone call. I'll be right back. To like, don't leave or whatever. And he
Yeah.
leaves around, and I think if you wait X amount of time, he comes back. And he's like, oh, you're still here, and I think he tells you the entire like his plot, like his backstory and his character and the ending,
Yeah.
and then he blows you up,
I don't
and
know. I
then,
don't
and then
know.
credits roll.
No.
And then credits.
In the very beginning of the game. It's one of those like Easter eggy things.
Oh, weird.
Yeah, no, there's no trophy for that.
Okay, I wasn't sure.
No, I've like killed a certain amount of people with mortars.
Yeah, that's.
Get all the skills.
Yeah.
I
the
watched
two
it.
co-ops and then
I watched a YouTube
One more.
video yesterday, and I immediately thought of you. It was a guy his personal challenge was to get 30 platinum trophies in 30 days on games he had never played before.
There's a challenge going on right now. Actually, the guy I follow on Twitter and YouTube, his name's Brian. Not you.
Good name. Good
obviously.
name though. It's a good strong name.
He makes a bunch of PlayStation 4 trophy.
That was him.
He's doing right now. He's doing 24 hours. He has to get 50.
He's screwed.
Dear Lord.
He has there's a gaming company he's working with that is actually giving him some games, so he doesn't actually have to buy them or anything. They're
that
they're like
happens a lot.
retro they're like retro games,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
they're not going to be hard to go through. But
Video.
I can show you. I don't know what point he's at right now, but yeah, he's doing that right now, trying to set a world record. He really doesn't care if
Is
Guinness.
it this guy?
No,
No.
no,
No. Okay.
it's not. I don't know the guy's face.
Yeah.
Maybe
Mystic
it
is
me.
Mystic is
It's
his
not
YouTube channel.
Maybe
name.
it is me.
because he's still playing and you're not.
Joke's on you. This is a figment of your imagination.
No.
Like
Nick
him.
is too.
Like him.
Now pee on him.
No, but yeah,
Okay.
Far Cry 4 is a good.
Yeah, you've had fun with it.
It has a lot to do.
I like it.
Yeah, the
I-
Far Cry games usually have a lot to stand up to too, so that's always fun.
Which is surprising that Primal ended up being the way it is.
Brian says it's fun, so yeah.
I got a hot dog.
World record attempt. How many times?
All right, so Chris has been far crying, and then the other thing we're going to talk about after. All right, Brian.
I recessed.
Good for you.
I'm still going. I'm almost done all
I
of
don't
it.
know where he's at. But
And then I Call of Dutied. We've
Yes,
talked about that
we've
already.
Talked of Call of Duties.
Yeah, recess is recess, and not much to talk about. And then I fell off the bandwagon. I played Heroes of the Storm.
Oh no!
Did you get angry?
No, well,
Uh huh.
so there's a new character,
Yes,
He's
there
on-
is Deathwing.
yeah.
Deathwing. There's lots of arguments on the internet about if he's like overpowered.
Of course he's
I think
overpowered.
he
He's
is.
new.
Who?
He's gigantic. Deathwing. So
You can
he's,
play as Deathwing, the guy that destroys half of Azeroth.
Destroys Azeroth. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a character.
Yeah, he is
Destroyer of
giant.
worlds
He's
is
a
what he
giant.
Does he like take
character.
up the entire map?
He takes up not the entire map, but he's big. He's
But
big.
I would expect him to be the map size because
There are aspects they can change.
yes, they are usually elves.
Well, no, Chromie's a gnome. Like they change.
I said usually.
I
they're
know.
elves.
that's what
Deathwing was a guy. It was a human, I think. Like
Yeah.
his aspect was a human. But anyways,
So you play as a human.
no, you play as the dragon form of Deathwing. So
It's like saying Diablo.
He's big on that.
he's super powerful. In my opinion, he's well.
But again,
depends.
he's new. That's what always
Yeah.
happens. They'll tone him down. As
If you have a character that does percent damage, you can
everyone's-
take him down easily.
Yeah.
You can take him down easily just because he has so much health.
What does percent damage?
it
so
takes
you-
off 30% of their health.
Yeah.
Oh,
with each
oh,
big-
an
yeah.
X amount of damage, not just
Yeah.
like DPS kind of thing.
No, yeah. So that's easy. But if you don't have anyone on your team that deals percent damage, it's really hard. And then I played one game where it was Deathwing and Cho'Gall on the same team.
Oh God.
We had no one that did percent damage. Cho'Gall's also a big ogre that.
It's that two-player
Shell
It's
one.
the
Yeah.
two-player one that
It's
yes.
the two-player one. One controls and one attacks. Or
Yeah.
something.
It was. We lost in 5 minutes. It was pretty brutal. But, yeah.
Heroes of the Storm.
Yeah. Other than that, it's Mando.
Mandalorian. Super
There's no
fun.
button for there's no button for it.
I talked about recess.
He did. He said it was recess.
Yeah, it's recess.
I missed that.
No,
Yeah,
I
you
heard.
guys- you guys
I
were-
heard him saying.
You guys were talking about the other guy. So
No, I heard.
recess.
I heard.
What
you.
is a big accomplishment to try and go for that?
That is quite the.
It is.
see-
It is
see
a
how he
very
got
big.
impressed.
Yeah.
That's 60.
Is he doing Terminator Salvation?
No. It has to be games he hasn't played before.
Ah. Yes. Then
All
you're
right,
screwed.
Mandalorian.
Mando.
Last episode
So
was.
Spoilers.
I really
Cool, I
like
got
it.
it up
He got the tag.
It's so much fun. I love that show so much.
So there's people online that are complaining because it's like the most expensive show about nothing because
It really is.
there's
I
nothing
like
happening, and I'm
that.
like, but this is just it's world building for Star Wars, which is
Yeah.
really nice.
It's world
Like,
building for Star Wars, and even for Mandalorian
Even
himself.
for a
Like,
second
he's,
season.
like even for Mandalorian, it's like he's meeting up with his people. They hate him already. Why
Yeah.
do they hate him? Oh,
Well,
it's
and so-
because he was jerks to them. But then,
To me, the show is very
No, he was
much
jerked to
the
one of them.
yes.
right. To me, the show is very much like he is going through. That's the story. Is he has
Yeah,
nowhere
if
to
I could-
stay.
this
He
is
has
the
to
life
keep
of a
doing
bounty
stupid
hunter.
Yes,
jobs.
and he
to-
has to keep moving. He has to keep moving.
Yeah.
Right, he has
while
to.
taking care of this.
Because
kid.
he tried that.
He did try settling down because that was the piece. Was
And
like
that was last week's episode or last.
Yeah. Do people not remember TV shows before? Like,
no, they want these grand.
I don't want that.
Like,
I'm loving.
Don't
that.
need to. You don't.
Yeah,
Okay.
you don't need
I
to.
don't want. I want that, but I don't need it.
Yes.
Is what I. Is,
Again, we've
'Cause
gone back to the like. There is an overarching story that is happening.
Yes.
He
I'm guessing-
is traveling with the child to keep the child safe.
I'm
Yeah.
guessing that with like the Winter Soldier, that'll be much more of that grandiose. We're gonna get that with the Winter Soldier and the Falcon,
I feel.
and with
yeah.
WandaVision, we're gonna get that.
Yeah.
stuff. With Star Wars,
I'm
we're
cool with-
on the precipice of a new movie. We don't need a big story. Right
We
now.
don't need.
No.
No, we don't.
I don't need the Emperor to pop up and
No,
like him.
we don't
to
need
be-
lightsabers to come in, and
I don't.
no, we don't.
Honestly, I don't want him to be a big hero in the Star Wars
We don't
universe.
need that.
You know.
No, he just needs
Like,
to be doing his thing.
Yeah. I
He's
want a
growing
nice.
as a person.
Yeah, I want a
It is
nice
even mentioned.
character. Just bounty hunter.
Do you think they get? Do you think they unmask him at the end of the season?
I don't know. The actor's apparently never there.
Yes,
so, you know.
correct.
Yeah.
I don't
those-
have a problem with that.
I don't, because you got a guy in a mask. So
Yeah.
if you have better
What were you
people,
expecting?
and if you have better people who are better at the
Stunting.
like character movements and the stunts and
Yeah.
all of that stuff, I get it.
Why
It
not?
just kinda, it's
cheaper.
like you know,
It's no different than a stunt double.
it's just more.
Exactly,
It's just
right.
more important now that we were giving him a lot of credit for like his
Yes.
excellent acting skills, and it's like now I can give him credit for his excellent voice work,
Yeah.
and I can give credit to, you know,
another
these other
person
people
for-
for.
Like I was saying, Brian. Like it's no different than stunt doubles.
Yeah.
Stunt
Well-
doubles are like that all the time.
Yeah.
So-
They just.
But
It's,
stunt doubles only stand in for the dangerous stunt parts, not the like
and we don't know. If,
acting parts.
and we don't know if it's the same similar situation where.
we don't.
so
What?
I
where-
would still like to
we
give
don't
due
know how-
credit
where
to
he
whoever's
is.
in that. In
Bryce
the,
Dallas
in that
Howard
series.
never met him when she directed her episode. She worked with two guys who were not the main actor the whole time. Like, and that's a piece, and that's cool because again, it's like Darth Vader was never actually James Earl Jones.
No.
It was
Yeah.
David Prowse or whatever.
Who was always upset because he didn't get much credit, which I feel bad for the guy.
Correct. So that's the piece. Is like
Yeah.
that is my whole thing with this. Is it's not a bad thing. Because
No,
it's
no.
a masked character. We just have to give credit where credit's due because these
Yes.
people are doing a really good job.
But
of
he's matching the voice to do what the actions are.
Correct. So he's
Yes.
doing, like I said, he's doing a good job.
The
The
actor-
physical actors are doing a good job because they can also emote things without
It's teamwork.
the face. Yeah, everybody's doing a very good job. So
I
it's
wonder if it was a budget thing.
no, he had another project apparently.
Oh,
Bryce
okay.
Dallas Howard said he was working on a different project, so that was
Oh, I see.
Wonder
I
Woman?
still like Pedro Pascal. Maybe, yeah.
maybe.
Yeah.
Wonder
So
Woman.
either.
Wonder Woman 84 or
84.
whatever.
And when you
Yeah.
don't need
Oh, that
him
was a good
physically
trailer.
there.
That was a good
It
trailer.
was a good trailer.
That was a good trailer.
My brother
Um,
was born in '84. Maybe he'll have a cameo. I'm just kidding.
So
That's not how time
As a
works.
baby.
That's not how time travel works, but okay.
we saw the child
Child just-
becoming more active, as it were. Like he knew.
I
he
love
was
that
kind of
scene
in
where he was like
danger.
holding that hand.
I
know!
We thought we were gonna do a force thing, and then he's like, boom. He's like, did I?
I felt
The
that
hell?
one coming.
The heck?
Yeah.
I know nothing was gonna actually
No.
happen, but like it was that funny scene of like he's
I just love how we're developing this child character to be raised by a bounty hunter, which means we're legitimately going to get a force-powered bounty hunter out of this.
That would
in
be-
in
Unless-
50 years later.
And that's why I could see like everyone's like, "Where's this Yoda character in all the big movies?" I'm like, I could see him as not giving two shits on a stick because he's a bounty hunter.
Right. He's not Yoda.
Yeah, he's not Yoda.
Yoda was raised as a Jedi. He
Yeah.
is not being raised as a Jedi. He's being now pretty much raised and seeing constantly on every
we have
episode
no idea-
someone getting shot.
And we also don't know that he's Yoda's
It was a
kid
robot.
either.
No, it's this.
Well, no, he's not Yoda's kid.
It was
know
a
that.
robot.
Huh?
It wasn't a person. It was
Well,
a
I know, he's seen a
robot.
lot of people die. It was a robot played by David.
Yeah, we went over
Yeah,
that.
I know. David I.O. from the IT crowd.
Yeah.
The frizzy-haired guy from that.
Oh,
So
good for him.
the entire episode, I was like, because it felt like a Taika kind of like just
Well,
changing his voice.
And
Yeah.
I felt that the female character there
Yes.
with the
Oh,
the
I'm
Twi'lek.
just-
tweet.
as soon as I saw that,
Tonks.
as soon
It's Tonks from
Yeah.
Harry Potter.
Yeah.
who's Tonks?
I feel like Quinn
Harry
was
Potter.
Harry Potter.
Who's Tonks?
Isn't
Not
she
a married
shifty?
lady?
Yeah.
Colorful hair.
Colorful hair.
Was which?
That's who the Twi'lek played. Or
Oh.
who was playing the Twi'lek?
Who played Quinn? His face looks familiar.
The
The other
David
tweet.
Burr? Oh, I don't know.
The other
I don't know.
tweet.
We don't know the
Oh,
other
I don't
Twi'lek.
know.
I had to laugh when he tried to use a flamethrower against the guy that literally looked like the devil.
And it didn't work.
Shot.
But again, that's that world piece of like we've seen these guys before,
Yeah.
like in the background. We don't know a lot about.
But now we
them,
know that he's resistant to fire.
But he's
Yes.
definitely
And
resistant.
it's very
Definitely.
strong. He
And
took two sliding
two
doors.
doors,
Sliding
two doors
door.
of it, and still is alive.
Yeah.
Just
I was
has a
expecting
mi-
him to be dead.
I thought he was
I thought
totally.
that was a nice twist at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I kind of figured that he kept the girl alive.
Yeah.
And
The other dude.
The three.
I love the
weapon
shoulder
dude.
cannon thing. The
Yeah, that
shoulder.
little-
Bill Burr's shoulder cannon.
I love that.
His character
It's
was
not the
a
first
lot
time
to
we've
me.
seen it in the Star Wars universe, but like I just like seeing that,
Yeah.
especially done this well.
Yeah, his character was a little off to me.
I didn't care for
See,
it.
but even his thing was a little mixed up because when they first ran into the robots, they were shooting. He wasn't doing any damage to them, but then when he was solo by himself,
I think it's
I-
because they got caught off guard by the robots the first. Like that's
You
how you're
got to
supposed
aim
to
at a
look at
specific
it.
spot on these robots.
Is like he snuck up on them the second time, and
he didn't stick up on them.
No, the second
The
time,
second
yeah,
time,
second
yeah.
time he
Did.
did. Second time he did.
he saw them
He
as
def-
like okay,
and he
I
was
can-
also prepared for it.
I
too.
can plan
Yeah.
and
This is
go.
where I'm gonna
The
hit 'em.
first time was very much like they turned the corner and they all went and like ran
it's like
behind
me
cover.
in Call of Duty.
Yeah,
If I turn a corner,
There's
I'm
no
like,
friendly fire there though.
yeah.
I did get a.
Plus, you need a badass scene.
I
to
did.
have
I did get a scene.
Mando killing them.
I was definitely thinking like
He doesn't like robots. We gotta figure that one out
yes.
too.
Yeah.
I think. I think.
I
we'll
really
get-
want to
we'll-
know.
we'll
I want to know that
we'll
backstory.
get there.
Well, maybe
We'll
it's
trade
because of
We'll
the
get
kids in the flashback.
Right? Yeah, because
Yeah,
he was
maybe.
traumatized by
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
His family was killed by
a bunch of
battle
droids.
droids.
Yeah.
Maybe. I definitely got the vibe during the scene where the Mando broke out of the cell.
Yep.
And he was controlling the things.
Oh,
the
yeah.
doors. I'm like, oh man, he's being Batman. He's being Batman. He's like sneaking up on him, like, gotcha.
Oh, I was just like, so
Oh, I
someone
was-
played too much Five Nights at Freddy's.
Oh no, not that. When
'Cause
he was sneaking around the corner.
all the corridor thing where the,
The
flashing
boogie-
light was
oh,
going.
Yeah, I'm
Oh
like,
my
that's he's
God.
playing. Batman. He's Batman. He's Batman. He's Batman.
That was a primo shot scene where it's like, there he is.
I love those.
There he is.
I want.
there
I
he is,
want to
there
know
he
how
is,
that's.
There he is. And turns around, and there he is. Wham!
Bam!
I wonder how those shots are done because it's really interesting.
They're just cuts.
Yeah, they're just
You think- you
cuts.
think
Like
they're
when it turns all black, that's like end of a scene.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Not end of a scene, but end of the
Because
cut.
I don't know.
And then he moves off, and then they. And
I
then
love
they-
the camera pan backwards and he's behind him.
That was
I'm like,
perfect.
I'm like, he's Batman.
Yeah.
Oh my god, Mando's Batman. I have expected him to say, I'm Mando.
But
Boom.
and they're not just killing people off the
Yeah.
way. There's these.
Well,
I think these three
not
will come
entirely.
back.
Those three
I
will
think,
come back.
I think even his buddy, I think probably
You think he
survived
got-
the thing at the end.
you think
I
so?
feel like
I
there's
get
gonna be
that.
a time where people come back. Yeah.
Oh, there's
Yeah.
gonna be
There's
like an
one
And then you're
episode.
gonna and then you're gonna have Gina, whatever. her
Yeah.
name is,
Yeah,
come back and just cameo stuff randomly.
Sure.
IG-66 will repair himself and work
He
his
was
way
shot
back
in the
into.
head.
He's fine.
No.
That's not where the processing stuff is. He probably put it in his junk.
In the bomb that he's about to blow up.
Yeah.
I'm about to self-destruct. No, don't do
don't
that.
do
Okay. Don't do that. Okay.
Stop that.
Because really, as a droid, if I could move parts of me around,
Yeah.
I'd be moving
Why
like,
would you put
vital
it in your
parts
head?
into
Yeah.
into places that people aren't going to think are vital parts to me,
I don't know. You never know.
like processing in my shoulder.
Something.
You shot in the shoulder, you're done.
If I get shot in the head, I'm dead.
Exactly. Then or put it in your chest and then really reinforce the chest part.
Then they know.
Or my butt.
Yeah.
Okay, General Grievous.
Or my heel.
All right, okay,
You
Achilles.
step on the wrong rock, and all of a sudden you're.
Oh, that hurt.
Oh my god, this is the wrong game. I'm playing Death Stranding, actually.
But yeah, this movie or show, this
This
show
show-
is just I
I very much appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yep.
I am.
It's
really,
just a lot of
They
fun.
really did a good job of not liking making me not like those guys though.
oh for sure. You're
But
not
I think that's
supposed
just
to
good
like him,
writing, too.
Again,
Yeah.
that's good
But
writing.
that showed the type of person he was.
Yes.
He was with that group.
Was
Yeah.
at the point. Now he's a different person.
But he's and that's the thing is he obviously
the father.
left.
He's now
and
adopted
they
father.
made the joke like the Twi'lek makes the joke about, like him having his code and leaving and da 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 da
Yeah.
da. Like they talk about why he left them. So obviously he was still Mando.
Yeah.
Like he wasn't a jerk. He wasn't doing this. He wasn't killing people. He wasn't. He just then moved into that.
Did they go into why? I thought he just left.
No, she makes that comment
Something about his code.
when he was like they're like he didn't want to kill the guy.
Yeah.
At the brother.
No,
No.
the human.
Yeah.
Oh.
The one rebellion.
The one
Oh, yeah.
guy, the one New Republic
Yeah,
guy.
New
was in
Republic.
there,
Yes.
Where they're like, he's like, no, we're not killing this guy, and it's like da 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 da. and
Michelle
sh-
Helmet guy.
Yeah, Egghead. They
Egghead,
make
sorry.
she makes fun of him, and she makes some kind of comment as to that's why he left was his stupid code made him, So he's always had this code
Yeah.
where you only kill the bad people, and that's what
People
made
that
him-
deserve
killed
it.
all
The
of
people
them.
that deserve it.
And he should have killed all of them.
I think
Maybe he
his,
let-
his
he-
idea was that ship is going to a giant prison.
That's
They're-
good. That's
so they're
enough
getting their
punishment.
justice.
Their life is probably worse than death.
Yeah, right. Like he's actually sending them to something worse. And then the guy who really deserved it, because clearly the other Twi'lek did something more horrendous gets,
Just
I mean, he was willing to
X-Wings just
he was
destroyed.
willing to leave his sister to die.
Exactly. He's a pretty
So
Right.
terrible
yeah,
person.
I was
fun thing that we found out today. Dave Filoni, who is the writer and showrunner of Clone Wars and all of that stuff, was one of the X-wing fighter pilots.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's a cool
I
piece.
love that X-Wings were still... They brought X-Wings back
Yes.
into this.
But that's the thing. This
Oh.
show is doing such a good job of paying
But
homage
they
to
mixed
like
it too with
The universe
It
of Star
wasn't
Wars.
the attack fighter that you were going to send out,
that was looked like a modified Jedi fighter thing.
but it was from the.
It was from the prequels.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was probably stolen from.
Yeah, it looked like a modified Jedi fighter from
Yeah.
the prequel movies.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's
They mixed it up a bit.
but that's the nice piece is even though like you still have all these computer generated graphics things, we're still getting an X-wing that still pretty much looks like an X-wing, and then they do the cockpit shot that looks like it was shot back in the 80s, which isn't a bad thing. Like those
Yeah.
cockpit
I
shots
love
were
those.
great.
They're
Yes.
great.
But it's still like we're still using those
still-
shots. We're still doing the screen wipes. Like
I still like all the practical effects that they're just doing.
Yes.
Even with the robot, the droids,
The
the
baby.
baby,
Puppeteers.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
puppet's got a puppet.
with her ear or
Yeah.
whatever those things are called. Like
the Twi'leks,
I don't know what
the
but
head,
head, hair,
head tentacle things.
head tentacle,
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah, like even that stuff it's just so good.
Well, because that's the
Like,
piece is
it's-
even like they tried Twi'leks as that Twi'lek Jedi in the Clone
Yeah.
the episode 2 and 3, and it
yeah.
kind of looked a little off. It's like because they tried to do too much CGI type stuff. This
Yeah.
one's just like we're gonna put a prosthetic headpiece on you and you're gonna just live
Go for it.
Yeah, do it. Just do your action scenes.
Because all they do is hang. It's not like they.
Yeah, and I'm sure that there's
And she
technology
was
now
the
to make
biggest
those
thing-
things very light.
And the
Oh,
big
sure.
action scene she had was against Mando. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and even then, she wasn't moving a whole bunch. She was just throwing knives.
Because because she's a.
I know.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
She-
But
let's
I
say
just
same
I just
thing.
love the attention to detail in the show,
Yes.
and the fact that they're not relying on a lot of CG.
Yeah.
No.
No.
Right.
No, and I when
It's
I
a-
read that article,
It's
it was,
about the right, like this. That's what I love. Is about. It's so
And that's
much
what we
about
like
the
about
writing.
Star Wars. That's
Yeah.
why we liked Star Wars to begin with, like before the specialized edition,
I'm waiting
special
for the
editions.
big bad.
We don't need one.
Big what?
If-
we'll have one.
You don't.
You're gonna get one by the end of the season.
Yeah.
You think so?
It's gonna be. It's like I'm
It's
saying.
probably
This is
that one guy we saw.
this is the new Buffy the Vampire Slayer. This is the new Angel.
Oh,
like
yeah,
it's a week to
yeah.
week. He's going on adventures, but there is this overarching. Someone eventually is going to come after this child.
Well,
Yeah.
they always are. People are slowly.
No, but like the
figuring
big
it out.
person is fine. Like the Thanos is finally going to like I'll handle this myself sort of thing. Like
Yeah.
he'll come in. Someone will come in to actually deal with it because
To get
clearly
the
the
asset.
Empire
Wants
this
this guy
kid.
kid's genes.
or what's left of the Empire. And maybe that is what builds into the movies is
That's
that's
what I
how
think.
Sidious survives because
Yeah.
we know obviously
Yeah.
that the Emperor is
Somehow-
alive.
back in some
survived.
form.
We don't know that.
But there's,
He's not
there's
dead.
rumors though that it
Comes back as
We don't-
Baby Yoda.
We don't know that yet.
Taking over
Guys,
May.
we are missing the scene from Fortnite. How do we know?
Because I saw the clip that they released on their Instagram of the Emperor going, "I've been the voice you've been hearing in your head all
haven't seen
along."
So he's
haven't
not
seen it.
physically there then.
I haven't
He's
seen
in
it.
Ray's head.
He's like Voldemort.
No, it's
I haven't seen it yet, so I
it's
don't.
Ben's head, Ben Solo. So like when he hears Darth Vader, it's not Darth Vader because they did indeed get James Earl Jones back to do some Darth Vader voiceover stuff that is in Kylo Ren's head.
Oh, really?
Driving him
what's
towards-
his name?
What?
Young Anakin?
They might have gotten Hayden Christensen,
Hayden
but that's
Christensen?
not Darth Vader. That's
James Earl Jones.
James Earl Jones is the voice of
Yeah.
Darth Vader. So yeah, no, the new clip is very
I haven't
much
seen the
like
clip.
I gotta see the clip.
the new clip
I don't
is
want to
very
see
much
it. I don't want to see it.
the Emperor's
I'm gonna wait.
voice going like, "I've been the one," and you're
I'll
just
wait.
like, "Yes,
I'll wait.
Fucking Emperor, he's amazing."
Everyone loves the Emperor.
But that's the piece. It's like maybe that's.
Chain lightning.
But again, maybe that's because they were trying to suck something out of the child.
Yeah.
Maybe that's that like he needed some kind of force life essence, and we know
Honestly,
that
If in my
this race is force sensitive.
in my opinion, I would be totally okay if the movies or any other future like Star Wars stuff don't include the child.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
very,
I'd
I'm
be
very okay with
I'd
it
be
if,
very
if
okay
they
with
I
don't
don't care
explain
if
it at all.
movies
Yeah.
don't touch, but like that's
I just,
where I
I
feel.
just okay. If, no, like in
Wait till
general,
later.
I'm okay
Yeah,
like
I know.
in general, like they don't even do anything.
Well,
Like,
but
they
you
just leave
look,
it.
though. There's that I don't know.
I'm okay if they
names.
just leave it as is, because like if you think about
They're
how
also-
young this character, or how old this character is, it's gonna be a long time before we see him pop
It's
up.
20 years before the Force Awakens.
Right.
So it'd be 70.
Right, but it could still be.
Which is
it could
a
still be. It
a
could still be
very
this.
young.
It could
it's
still be
still
this.
We
very
don't know their
young.
growth rate.
No.
We don't.
We don't know.
Yoda
Yoda was-
became a Jedi Master at 100.
Yeah.
But that was a Jedi Master.
Master. Yeah.
So they're plenty capable by 70 to have the ability to do stuff.
No, and again, I don't need to see him necessarily in the films, but it'll be nice if this starts to tie into tiny little things around.
Because there's that guy from even the Clone Wars that was in Rogue One.
Yep.
Forrest Whitaker's character.
Yeah.
Where he came over from that. So you.
Yeah,
I
they've
think
been
they
tying
are.
them in.
Yeah.
I think they are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said,
Like
I just
I'm
I
even half
don't.
expecting in the episode before that, what's her face's character, Fang.
Ming-Na Wen.
But I think the character was Fang
Yeah.
something or whatever. I'm very surprised she wasn't. I don't know why that name sounds familiar.
I don't know.
Like I said, I'm okay if they just hold on to the child for a little while longer. I don't want them to like play all their cards yet. So
Well, no, but we need at some point
So-
to know why the Empire wanted.
Wants that kid so badly.
I'm okay with not knowing that right now. I'm okay with not knowing.
But that's your season finale. Is
Yeah, that's gonna be the
the
season.
Empire is like we
Which
need
is
that
coming
kid to
very
do
soon.
X.
or even if they just say that we need the character, or we need it for I don't.
Eventually, though, that
I just-
does have to be the
I know,
overarch.
but I just rather them not.
Because again, even Buffy, as much of it was Monster of the Week, you still have to have the arc, or you get nothing. Like you need
I'm okay with it for now.
because right now
He's
his
cute.
point is
That's how a good show goes.
keep the
There's
child.
always
Yeah.
that. There's little things going on. There's always that overarching.
And yeah, the other side has to step it up at some point,
Hmm.
other than just sending bounty hunters after the biggest
But the
bad
last
The
few
big bad.
episodes haven't really been.
because he's been staying away from them,
Yeah, he's been moving.
taking things on the down low.
which is why he went to that
Tatooine
last.
and not really down low.
Well, no, because that one again was the beginning of that one was him getting shot at by that space fighter.
Yeah.
He had no choice.
Yeah, like that's the thing. Like so, and then this one, he went to the most remote area for a job he could possibly think of. Like eventually, he's gonna
Because he
have
still
to
needs the
enter
money.
space where he's being hunted again.
Or maybe he's gonna track enough tension that
And
they're
then,
gonna.
Probably after this whole thing, he's probably attracted enough attention.
right, because we're 2 episodes away from the finale.
Yeah.
This is episode 6. We had 9 or 3.
You have 9.
Eight.
I thought it was
About
8.
Eight.
Pretty sure.
Because it ended before the new year. And there's only a couple of weeks left of this.
It was just on him.
But
Yeah, I thought it was 8
I thought it was
episodes.
8. But like still,
I
we
mean,
don't
I
have a
don't-
lot of episodes left, and if eventually,
Fact checking.
No, there's 9.
There are 9 episodes.
Oh, no, 8 for this, because I think it counts season 2.
Oh yeah.
So 8.
Oh, okay.
Yes, there are only 8, so we are 2 episodes away from
Yeah.
finishing it.
So, I like I said, I'm okay with if they don't even address it. Like I'm very okay with that.
and again,
'Cause
it's
the-
not
the-
that they have
I
to
think-
address the child. They just have to. They do have to have.
Because
A bigger
in my
scene.
mindset, like the absence of story or whatever that is makes you want to know it more.
Yes.
Sure.
There's a
So
mystery part.
I would rather them just not.
Oh, no, they've been slow
if you
playing
because
it.
if you ever like watch Supernatural, the earlier seasons with Ruby's knife, like they don't. Even the writers were like, we don't want to touch that. Like, we created this like thing. We're not going to explain it.
And again,
You
I'm
guys
not
just
saying we have
believe-
to explain the child, but we do have to explain,
Why the Empire wants him.
or that the Empire, it's actually the Empire that's after him, and this is what like we do need a bigger.
Yeah, like is it the
We need
Empire or was
Lucifer.
it just some?
If you're going with Supernatural, like,
Yeah.
I guess.
again, the end game was, the devil's trying to get out of hell. Da 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 da.
I guess so. That's my
Buffy had the Master, then Spike, then Angel, then like there's always that one thing. And the first season, it's
And I mean, they
definitely
already teased that at the end of the Ming's episode. Where
when Boba Fett showed up.
was it actually him?
No.
Is that actually?
I don't think that was Boba Fett.
I don't think
That is pretty much the internet is because
I think it's the
Someone showed up.
guy we saw.
yeah.
I think it's him.
You think? Yeah. No, the internet is very much because of the sound that the footsteps made with the clanging is apparently a Boba Fett thing.
But okay, all right, it's all right, guys. All right, go
Yeah,
internet. Go ahead. Go ahead, crazy.
I
Go.
know IGN had who was it speculation thing going on, but
I don't
I
even
didn't
follow
watch
IGN.
The
I don't even watch
The
IGN
Mandalorian
anymore.
subreddit was very much like it is Boba Fett because of, and then a novel, and I'm like, don't care. Like I will
Wow, you
find
got
out
you
by
got that from
watching
2 seconds of a clip
Yeah.
and then some sound effects.
Yep.
All right.
But again, like a wall of text because of the visual you saw mixed with the like sound effect of the spurs, like that spur sound or whatever,
Was there?
like that clink clink
I
whatever.
think,
it was.
I think it's still that one guy.
Again,
I don't think it's Boba Fett.
again,
I
the
don't think it is
internet has gone on this massive like is a Boba Fett, and I'm like,
No.
and again with
We
way
pretty
more text than
Someone
I care
could
to
easily
read,
have his armor.
or that.
Boba Fett
Or
was
someone with similar armor.
And that's the pieces, and that people. He was eaten by a sarlacc in the in the
Yeah.
extended universe. He escapes
He
quite
escapes,
easily
yeah, he does.
because he's Boba Fett.
He's
But-
Boba Fett.
Yeah, well, I guess so.
He's a Mandalorian.
No, he's
Yeah.
not.
They're the best
I
warriors.
thought
No,
Boba Fett was a.
No, he's not.
Oh no,
No,
he
is
just
not.
took
He
Mandalorian.
took
warrior.
Mandalorian armor.
Yeah.
Right.
Mando is the first actual Mandalorian we see in the Star Wars.
He's not Mandalorian.
The Mando?
He's not a true Mandalorian. No,
Mando isn't?
Nope.
He
he's
was
adopted.
He's
Oh, he's adopted?
He's
Yeah.
one of the foundlings.
Oh. Okay, well.
A
Either
lot
way,
of the Mandalorians that just got killed by Jedi's.
I thought Mando was Mandalorian.
They just don't. And I assume the other ones in the Conclave are actual.
Mandalorians, you think?
Potentially, we don't know. One of them's Jon Favreau,
Yeah, apparently one of them is Jon Favreau.
Yeah.
the guy
I
with the
can
minigun,
I can believe that.
voiced by Jon Favreau, not.
You don't think so?
He wasn't in the costume.
Probably
Voiced
not.
by. That thing
you-
specifically said voiced by. I do not feel like Jon Favreau got into all of that.
I feel like he would want to do that.
He
though.
probably wanted to. He is not the most fit guy.
No,
in
he
the
got a
world,
bit
though,
bigger.
so-
Yeah, but he also armor can cover a lot of things.
Yeah, that guy was pretty trim and built. Jon Favreau is not.
Happy's great. I don't know what you're-
Happy's fantastic.
He's
But-
he took on that one guard in Iron Man 2.
He did.
He did.
Good
He
for,
did a good job.
Good for Favreau on that one. Either way, ladies and gentlemen.
Thanks for
that
joining in on our
wraps
show.
up. They post. Don't hold your
Wow.
horses
He
there.
took off the spoilers.
It's not a spoiler to the ending.
Right.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us.
Spoiler: our show is ending.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
And check out barrelrollnews.com and remember to like and subscribe and do all of that lovely stuff.
We'll see you guys next week.
Yes, we will.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
And